That's why I'm trying to fix it right now. It's saying it isn't on, but it is. Oh, there we go. I fixed it. Problem solved. Note to self, one side of said PlayStation does not work. But anyway. So I'm guessing nobody heard what I was saying earlier. I was wondering why James was here. Because Henry was having a... We're taking Henry back to the sheds with the coaches after a long day, but James is currently here. No idea why. I tried asking him earlier. What do you think of the Thomas episode Wonky Whistle? It was an episode, not one that I remember by heart, like one of the classics like James and the Red Balloon, but it was an episode, I suppose. It still won't tell us why you're here. You're very silent as of late. I don't think I've heard James say anything in a while. Pretty strange, usually quite the chatterbox. But let's take Henry back to the sheds, and wherever James is going, he can enjoy his journey. But my day was good. Active, you had asked earlier, but I wasn't sure if anyone could hear what I was saying because we were having mic troubles. I was also saying that I need to be careful about the points I set, because one, if I mess up while like using this map, it completely crashes the game, which sucks, and that really should be something they should fix. But this game's track record of fixing things is not the best. So which side can I stop on? This side? I guess we'll go there. He doesn't have two faces. Like the two-face thing, it like bleeds through, but I think thanks to active, like usual, coming in clutch with a classic W, found a way to fix the problem, and I got to implement it on a lot of new liveries. And thanks active, you basically gave everyone another livery that needs to be designed. But on with the journey we go. Hopefully Henry doesn't have too much of a problem with the rain. I know your history record when it comes to rain, Henry. And I don't know what speed you're going, so we're just gonna... Oh wait, I kinda can. Alright, so I can. Alright, Henry, let's go home, leave James to do whatever he's doing. You're gonna go? Oh yeah, well it is slippery. It's been raining for a while. And very cloudy, I must say. Not cloudy, foggy. It's been very foggy today. Not the brightest day on Sodor. Speaking of which, earlier, another glitch kind of happened before the stream had started. While I was putting the coaches together, I kind of fell through the map, and just gonna do that right quick, but I kind of fell through the map completely. Here's something interesting. I also did an OBSC income with the official OBSC. Yeah, I also had a version made before that, which was crazy. But, you know, I guess we have an official one, which kind of ruins the livery itself that I had made. But, hey, at least mine can connect to the custom coaches that I've made, because I really wanted the DLC Thomas to be able to connect to these coaches that I've made. That was kind of like the whole point. But it kind of defeats the purpose now entirely if Thomas can't connect to these. So for some scenes, I have to, like... There's a method that I have to connecting Thomas to the back of these coaches due to not having like the proper coupling, or they just don't have that coded into the game for the DLC Thomas to connect to any of the actual like realistic stuff. But the way I do it is just that if you run Thomas at full speed into the back of the coaches, his buffers kind of get hitch underneath and get stuck, and he becomes trapped and he can't like break free, kind of like realistically what happens in the episode. He kind of, but he's more like coupled in the episode, I know. But that's how I've been able to shoot some scenes. Now if he's going too fast, like Gordon was going too fast, Thomas would break free eventually, and then the simulation would end, because they technically count that as a train being disconnected, I guess. But he wasn't connected to begin with, because like I said, I just stuck them together. But because I don't have this on computer, I can't really do that. If I had this on computer, I would just get a mod where I can just connect the Thomas, like somebody was showing in the Discord that there's a mod where you can just connect Thomas to those coaches right there. But we're making good speed, Henry. We're not gonna just speed down the line like last time. That wasn't a very brightest idea. Last time we did that, we nearly murdered everybody. Do the old movie trick, speeding up the footage to make it look faster. Yep, I actually have been doing that, but I still got to stitch together each of the scenes of Thomas, like, staying connected to Gordon, because there are a lot of clips of him breaking away. There's clips of the simulation failing. I think I have like 26 clips of some good footage, but it's like 5 seconds worth of good footage, but the rest is completely unusable. It was manageable, but unmanageable at the same time. And we're not going through the tunnel in that mode. We're going to be in the cab. But it's manageable, but unmanageable at the same time. While we're going through this tunnel, I'm going to have to go do something with the computer. I think that's better connection to stay connected to the stream. Every time I'm trying to read the comments, I get lagged out. Because I'm looking on the comments off my tablet. I don't have the computer off my tablet. So we can start making the as today is the celebration. I'm gonna switch to a better view so we're not just in the cab all day while I'm working on the computer behind the scenes. I'm gonna still be reading these books. Alrighty. As much as I would love to stop the train right now to switch to the Northwestern Railway, Henry, because I don't know why I had the TV series Henry connected right now if this is the 80th celebration, but I know I would have to stop this entire train, connect Henry, and pray that the game does not choose to lag out when I try to reset the path like it did last stream. That would suck. And I don't know why when I go and try to, like, I apologize for hitting you in the face. I did not see that lamppost right there. I didn't mean for the camera to hit everyone in the face. I apologize. Camera being thrown around. I'm not doing anything. The controller is like on the table. I'm literally on the computer right now. So why is the camera being thrown around? Oh, so that's not haunting at all. Yeah, that's not terrifying in the slightest. Oh, right. I think we're approaching a tunnel. I know how this game works when it's raining like that in the distance. We will check it out after this little journey here. Yeah, this is definitely haunted, Henry. So something's not up. The rain slowing down. And like I said, I know we were approaching a tunnel. Look at all these people just chilling in the rain. Y'all do know it's like raining. Y'all can go home. I don't even think any of you work, really. I don't think I've seen any of you go to work. The only people who really have jobs on this railway are people who work on the railway, now that I think about it. Then again, I don't talk to any of the people who live on the railway. I'm always driving the engines. People here on this island are weird, I'm not even gonna lie. They don't talk much to people who are, not from here. They don't really like outsiders much. We heard we have tunnels. We got tunnels amongst tunnels amongst tunnels. Because as you can see, that's the end of the tunnel right there. But I guarantee you, if we reach the end and if it starts to, push back further and further like last time. I know the draw distance of this game is pretty terrible sometimes, but it can't be that terrible. It's pretty fast there, tunnel. Alright, we made it through the tunnel, and finally the computer decided to finally boot up after 450 years. Nice. Hello, Freddy Gamer. Funny, you just mentioned you said the Freddy Fazbear Tunnel, the Freddy Gamer spawned into existence. Heard the name Freddy and just spawned into existence. That's kind of terrifying. Welcome to the stream. We're currently taking Henry back to the sheds after a long day of pulling the, it's not even the express. I don't know what we call these, actually. Ever since I arrived on this railway, people here don't really talk much. They all kind of just stand there. Look at them, like statues. You have summoned me. The people, people on the island of Sodor they don't talk very much. Henry, funny enough, the only ones who talk a lot are the engines. They'll talk a lot, but the people here are like cardboard cutouts. Oh, we're approaching another tunnel. Exactly. Absolutely terrifying. Why are you just standing there? Go home. It is raining. Why are you all just chilling outside like it's an average day? Do you have nowhere to be? Do you not have families to go home to? Imagine okay, where's the end of the tunnel? I know I was trying to talk about the people standing there, but the end of the tunnel would kind of be kind of lovely. Because right now we're in pitch darkness. I can only see wall next to me. Don't say that. Now all of them are on board the passenger coach suddenly. Why would you say that? That is the most terrifying statement ever. Oh, I see the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel. We made it. We survived. I'm not going to say that. I was about to say something. Seems like we're finally out of it. Whew, that was a doozy. ever again. Now back to the journey, Henry. What were we talking about before then? We were talking about we're taking Henry back to the shed. Quick little journey to the other side of the island, pretty much, you could say. Who would ever take that road? What road is this leading to? Yeah, this island. Who designed this island? Who was in charge of this? I would love to discuss with, like, the architecture of some of these buildings. I haven't even been working here for about a year now. These people, this island, the energy they give off whenever it's raining or storming is quite terrifying. Also started working on the we definitely need to download that later. There's a lot of stuff I'll need to download by the end of the stream, and before the stream ends, I'm definitely going to. That's the last thing we'll be doing before I end the stream. But first, we're just having a little journey. Nope, there goes the weeping angels. I've seen them. I swear we just passed about 3 of them that looked all were identical clones. Good to know that the railway stays haunted. Hopefully train 5 now. Hey, it's a good time, but this is a really good game. I'm not even gonna lie. I really do like Train Sim World 5. It's just the way they pop. I swear, one was staring at us. It had to be. Something's off about this entire this scenario. So one of them was definitely staring at us. And do you really want to go back and see who it was? Look, see, this is what I'm talking about. How are all of you, like, y'all can stand outside in the rain, like, and stuff like that, but there is nobody working. Like, that truck is straight up parked on a hill by it, like, just there. Where is everybody? Shouldn't y'all be at work? Look at that truck right there, right there. Trucks just everywhere. Nobody, like, thought to put the trucks away. Like, what's going on here? Why is everyone suddenly abandoned the island? Like, what's going on? The fog. I know they don't like bad weather here, like in the storms during the spring, whatever season it is here. It's always raining. Fair, but it usually doesn't look like this. I don't think. Then again, I've only been here for a year, so I probably got to just get used to this. But the weeping angels, you know, aka the civilians who are just standing on the platforms in the rain staring at the train go by, definitely a new level of terrifying. My updated bear has a That's what I try to do with the bear that I also have. Try to make him look as authentic as possible. But, you know, trying to do that is impossible when it comes down to this game. But if you can make him look almost on point or somewhat like it, it can be a fun game. Like this Henry, that's a probably 100% accurate Henry if he was in real life, except for this. Now this section, do we know how to fix this part yet? Like, is there I wonder if that method that you were showing me active will work on these buffers, because if we can fix that and actually make all of that look better, I actually might consider still using this Henry. Oh, would it? No, I thought it was only going to work. It will. Well, it looks like we have a new method. Yeah, version 6 of everyone needs to be released. Active, congratulations. You have successfully made each engine that I create now have to receive a new update because of this new discovery. It's a good day on the island of Sodor, though it is raining. I use it on all my stuff. That would have been good to know. Alright, Henry. Why do I feel like this is familiar? I feel like we're reaching some familiar area right now. Familiar stomping grounds. Like, I feel like we've been here before. Nope, definitely new. Everything here looks abandoned. Where are the people at? Not a soul. I know they said it would be dead during the... Oh, no, there's one. You saw that? Who was that? Strange fellow walking the bridge. Oh, there's a few of the weeping mannequins again. Oh, yeah, that... Yeah, we definitely got some staring at it. Which route in... Actually, there's a few spots that look exactly like Sodor, and if I could load them in... but I just remembered, someone needs to remind me, do not open the map when we go through. Some of the best ones that look the best, in my opinion, Spirit of Steam. A lot of it looks like Sodor. Good parts that look like Sodor. But the one for me that I've always used the most has always been, what is this? What map am I currently on? This is literally the most used map that I use. How do I, is it, oh, Topham? Sir Topham? Yes, thank you. But anybody just saw Sir Topham hat? I wasn't the only one who just saw our boy Sir Topham hat, right? Back to his shed. Oh, this is definitely the last train. I don't what weather is this? But another, I would say Peak Forest Railway definitely feels the most like. The Peak Forest does have a. We don't talk about that model. That's not Sir Topham hat. That is definitely a clone. I don't know who that man is, but it is definitely not Sir Topham hat. Peak Forest, yeah, that's what this map is. But the only thing I don't like is those telephone lines. I know Sodor does have those, but those ones just look way too modern. Way too much. And if I could mod the game, there's a lot of like stuff I would change. Like some of these buildings kind of look Sodor-ish, but then when you look at them like up close or like in certain details, certain spots, it just doesn't feel. It doesn't have that classic detail look to it that I would be going for. What do you think of Mr. Peters from the Thomas DLC? Oh, that guy. Yeah, that was the guy who invited me here. I don't know. He's pretty strange. I don't know. I know Sir Topham had, but I don't know who Mr. Peters is. I'm not sure if he's like new to the railway or has always been here, but I never met the guy, so who's to say? I would kick up the speed, but I don't think that would be a good idea. Where is all of the trucks are missing? All right. Usually this yard would be full of trucks. By the usually this yard, yeah, it would be filled with trucks because this is a save. So unless this is like an old save before I had started placing everything, but. Alright, nothing strange here, just another average day on Sodor. Stuff goes missing here all the time. Engines, coaches, trucks is nothing new. Now it's when the residents start going missing, and I'm pretty sure all the residents are gone because it would appear that a lot of them got replaced by whatever the heck those things are standing at the stations. You cannot convince me that those are humans. That area looks nice, very inviting. I would stop for some coal or resupply, but this place don't look too helpful in that department. Oh, there! Look at that! See, look at that! Look at those demons! I knew what 3 clones standing in the same spot is kind of crazy. Not gonna lie. They aren't even hiding it anymore at this point. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff on this railway, but the cloning, the man who keeps cloning himself is definitely the strange one. Oh, I know where we are, Henry. This is Kildane. That checks out. Yep, definitely Kildane. Now, where's the church at? The church is usually not that far from here. You know you're in Kildane where you see the church on the hill. Church is the church on the hill is the biggest indicator that we're in Kildane. Or is it off in the distance over there? I cannot remember. Oh, but it seems that they're busy on the street. Like, I see some traffic. And what appears to be a ghostly Sir Topham Hatt just going about his day. Looks like Knapford to me. I'm gonna have to check those out because I need like a Knapford station and stuff like that, because what I use currently for a Knapford station just really won't cut it. Henry, I notice you're getting a bit slow, so we're gonna change up that pace to 35. How about that? A bit slow. I hope you don't see Slender Man in the distant fog. I hope not. That's not a good sign. I think I'd rather see a ghost engine out on the rails, as these the stories have been told of. No, Henry, I turn the speed up. Why are you slowing down? That's not how increasing speed is supposed to work. Increased speed means engine is supposed to go faster. You're doing it backwards, dear friend. Henry, Timothy or Dudley the Vagrant. Which one would be less terrifying? I don't know. The less scarier encounter, I suppose. Which one's not gonna try to murder both me and Henry at the same time? Because, I'd rather get home today. It's already been a long day and Henry's running out of special coal. Perhaps we can, get Edward here to help, or somebody. This has been happening kind of frequently. Every time that you should try to make me using a 4F. That will be a task, but it's not impossible. But every time we get close to a tunnel, engines seem to get weary around tunnels. This one seems a bit sketchy. Oh, not doing that again. Oh, this tunnel definitely feels familiar. Very familiar stepping ground. Standing up and walking around is playing a heavy gamble right now, because when I do this, I risk clipping out of the engine. And then Henry will just continue on down the line and leave us stranded here in the middle of the fog. So, got to be really careful, because this game, even though this is their newest game, is quite buggy. It works when it works, but it can be very, very, very buggy. Alright, we're already at the end of the tunnel. Matter of fact, Henry, just for now, I think we'll be fine. The rain, there's no engines out on the line. I don't think we'll get in trouble. Topham is all the way back. at wherever we just crossed. I don't think he'll be reported of engine speeding down the line, so we're just going to increase the speed just a bit. No harm, no foul, right? What's the worst, or the worst that can happen? There's no engines out on the line. A little bit of speed, never hurt nobody. A little pep in the step. Okay. I noticed my tunnel is gone again. It's one of those. It's gonna be one of those days, huh? Why can I not see anything on the opposite side of the train? Like, I can see the wall when I'm sitting on this side, but why is it just pitch darkness when I look in this direction? That's not unsettling at all. Oh, we reached the end of the tunnel. Nice. Good job, Henry. Is that Henry? Yes. It's a custom livery that I made. You can actually download it off of Creators Club. It's free. If you have Train Sim World 5. It's Henry and the, I just call them the Red Express coaches, but yeah. Our friend Henry, who's currently slowing down right now for whatever reason. This isn't even really, it's, never mind. I was about to say it's not even that much of an incline, but it's a bit something. So I understand, Henry. Plus, it's not like we stocked you up on special coal before we left. Henra. Yes, our good friend Henra. Try Gordon. I actually might, because Henry's slowing down quite a bit, and Gordon probably will get this done faster. But I promised that Henry would get the engine. Welcome back, active. I promised him that Henry would get them get there, but he's currently slowing down. Come on, Henry. It would be very embarrassing if I have maybe call Edward for a double header. Might have to. In fact, Henry will stop the train and we'll call Edward to come and help. Edward would love to come and help. So we're just gonna slow down the train. Henry has decided to stop in the tunnel again. Not again, Henry, not again. The 3 railway engines. He really wants to celebrate the anniversary this time. Stop Henry in the tunnel and get Edward to push at the back. Are we even approaching a tunnel? Matter of fact, yeah, let's take Henry to a tunnel first. We gotta find another tunnel, and according to like the map, there's like 800 tunnels ahead of us. No, Henry, do not stop right now. We have to get you to a tunnel so Edward would like to come and help. Come on, Henry. And he chooses now to stall out. You know, Henry, when we first bought you, Sir Topham Hatt called you a very... Oh. He heard me. He actually heard me. Never insult Henry. Remember that. If Mattel wrote the railway series, the one railway engine. Exactly. Never insult Henry. Either Edward or knock off James. One of them. I apologize, Henry. My judgment was misplaced. Never doubt Henry. Everyone remember that. Henry should never be doubted. I feel silly now. I really did doubt Henry in that one moment. Forgot who I was talking to for a second. All right, Henry. But now our next task will be getting to a tunnel, or get replaced by Rebecca. Yeah, no, no. Henry will never be replaced by anyone. You can't replace the big green engine himself, Henry. He's a classic. There's no replacing this guy. Or Collie if we're doing the remember last stream, at the end of the stream, Callie, well, the first stream, Callie wasn't really in the mood to help out when it came to pulling coaches. Then again, she's had to pull coaches before in the past, so of course she wouldn't be fond of it now. Exactly, Henry the Goat. Exactly, one of the greatest of all times, alright? He's kind-hearted, but he's still the type of engine to be hanging out with an engine like Gordon and being in the Tenders Club. Henry's the goat of all goats. Just like our boy Edward. The two, that's what I'm saying, you can't replace these two. Neither Henry or Edward could ever be replaced. You can bring in those two replicas or whatever clones that you want to call and try to replace them, but you can't replace these two. There's no replacing these two. Henry has had his ups and downs throughout the series, but he's alright. Now you're slowing down a bit, Henry. I get it. It's an incline. It's rainy. And Sir Topham Hatt has told us to keep it at a very steady speed because we don't want to damage the coaches. But at this point, damaged coaches do not seem like a bad idea. And I might only be saying that because I've driven engines at almost 300 miles per hour before, so I'm probably just being a literal moron. But we're not going to do that right now. Henry was in the CGI depicted as someone who gets scared and screams at things. Well, not this Henry. This Henry here is definitely a different Henry. This is the Henry. This is Henry. Like, this ain't the Railway series Henry. But he still has some problems currently. We still haven't found a way to, fix the firebox problem. But we'll get it there eventually. For now, we need to call Edward. I was trying to get him to a tunnel, but he's stopping again. Edward, though, Edward is strong enough to help with the... Edward is strong enough to help. And plus, we don't need that much power. We just need enough power to get back to... Also, I got which probably a knockoff with James and took its face off. Oh, dear. Not the face removal. Poor James. But should we get Edward? We're gonna get Edward. Edward, you haven't been out of the shed in literally a while. Like, in actuality, you haven't been out of the shed in a while. So it's good to have you on the rails again. Hopefully we can spawn you in without the game not wanting me to, because I'll have to go pretty far, won't I? Putting up with this on you can't spawn within range. I would have to spawn him on the second rail and go all the way down there and find a track to switch him onto, then back down the rail. Henry, why do you never make the job easy? Maybe if I remove the path and then connect Edward, because because there's a path there, so we'll delete the destination, and Henry, well, Edward, please just spawn within the reasonable distance, or I really don't want to go all the way down the line. That would suck. Success. Mission accomplished. We did it. We're back in business. Now Edward is here, Henry, so perhaps you can actually, travel down the line this time. Let's go. Let's get Edward backed up to the train. Alright, don't do that again. Let's go, Edward. Slow and steady wins the race. Alright. Back her up a little bit more so we can couple up to the train. And almost there. Oh, wheel slip. We're slipping forward. And I'm just going to apply the brakes right now. Just, there we go. Perfection. Edward and Henry didn't He's a proper engine. Alright, we have them both coupled up. Now, here's the tricky part. We need to get into the cab with the camera. Close this. The brakes are implied on Edward, so first we need to set up Henry to be able to... No, actually, I think you can control the engine from a doubleheader, but for the brakes, you got to take it off from inside the cab of the second engine and switch back. Perfect. Alright, Edward. Henry couldn't get up the line, so hopefully you both can do it. Please do not lag the game out when I do this. I just want to get home so I can take a rest. And Henry, you traveled pretty far up the line. Okay, we're going to Buxton, wherever that is. That's not even on the map, but here we go. Alright. Let's see how this goes. I meant Edward said that line, so Henry, the crane engine debuts. Harvey, I read it as Henry. Alright. Even Edward is ready to go home. Okay, apply the brakes. Henry, are you even trying? Going, it's time to get home. Edward, like always. Applause for our boy Edward. Edward, like always. Thank you, Edward. We appreciate Edward's always helping out on the railway. He always knows how to help an engine out of a situation. Good old Edward. Nice. When I did my Edward on the 4M, I made the front wheel arch splasher black. I didn't even think to do that. That's a good way to make that disappear. And yeah, I really am going to have to make a version 6 of all these liveries. That is probably the smartest thing I've ever heard to think to do. Like, why didn't I do that? Like, that would make all that situation right there go away, and we would have a more accurate looking Edward. Besides the, wheels. That's what I did as well. Which is weird, because that's how I designed one of the engine's designs is they have this section blacked out to make it like it just goes like through. Oh yeah, the Bill and Ben. Dude, I literally showed you. No, I'm talking about how I have it on one of my engines. How did I not think to do that on the Edward? But like I said, Edward hasn't been out in a while. Like I don't use him that often when I'm going up the line, nor have I used his livery. That's why it's still in version 3. Mainly because Edward is like a shunting engine currently, and what's going, like, he hasn't been out on the line, but when he is out on the line, he's usually carrying those fruit and veggie trucks, the Sodor fruit and veggie trucks. He's doing like some fruit and vegetable deliveries usually. I like the episode where Henry met the clock engine at Kildane. Oh yeah. You're referring to Cali. I don't think Henry likes talking about that much. Yeah, Henry didn't seem to enjoy his experience in Kildane much, which is probably why he started slowing down. But our good friend Edward is here to help him through. And perhaps when we get up this hill, Henry can get back up to speed. Because currently, Edward is really doing a lot of work right now. Look at all the smoke like that's flowing from Edward's funnel compared to Henry. Henry is the big engine, but he's not really putting in a lot of effort right now. Perhaps a bit more speed will help him, so we can get back to speed. Come on, Edward. Let's show Henry how it's done. But yes, talking about the first episode 0. Yeah, Callie, that time engine. Yeah, she appeared in the first stream, but didn't feel like pulling any coaches, which was fine, I suppose. Though the controller said she wouldn't mind, but she... Can we please have a line that bypasses Kildane? Look, I've been asking them to install... Oh, look, here we are, Kildane. But I've been asking them to install lines here for years now, and their only response is we don't have the budget for that. But we have the budget to restore an engine that's probably like 100 years old, but... Welcome to Sodor. We don't make a lot of sense. That's also strange. Like, their wheels have to stay that color. Like, I wish you could color them like the Flying Scotsman wheels, but it's just not really a thing, unless you use mods or something. Because can you imagine the engines with some actually, like, their wheel, like actual colored wheels like the Scotsman has? This Henry would look just pure perfection. I don't think I would ever, like, stop playing this game and using Henry. Because that's just 100% accurate looking Henry, and after I fix the buffer situation. Henry, we're almost out of Kildane. Can you please get some speed? Then again, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure we're approaching the shed that he claims the story where he saw that time engine that you were referring to. But our good friend Edward is here to help us through the fog. Now, last stream you were also changing, so I gotta keep an eye on you, Mr. Blue Suit Man. Blue Suit Man with the shaved head. Alright? Remember that description. That man right there likes to shapeshift every now and then, man. Before we had started up our journey with Mike in our last stream, that man was wearing a red suit. Like it looked almost similar to another person who used to work on this railway. Very similar. Strange. There are still a lot of people who really do believe that story. No, but if you have to, I guess because Thomas is such a what's it called series, no one really believes that or a lot of people really do honestly believe Henry died in that tunnel. But that's just no, because like that video had said, well, that dude had said in that video, or if you just watch the series, literally in the next episode, depending on how you watched it, or if you had the VHS, because I had it in VHS tapes, Henry is released in the next episode, but then I think later in the episode, it cuts back to him being in the tunnel again. Actually, I've had an idea. What if something in the air, the one where Henry was in the sea, is the coastal line because Henry demanded a bypass to Kildane? That is a very good theory. An active theory, if you will. Alright, I think we're approaching our destination. Well, not even our destination, Henry. We're just getting closer to Kildane, and you're slowing down the train. You know, the slower we go, Henry, the longer we're going to be in Kildane, right? That's literally how that works. You know, Edward is putting in a lot of work to get this entire train, including you, back home, because for whatever reason, you're terrified of Kildane. I know Kildane has had a lot of stories about it. Terrifying stories. But it's not that bad. Alright, it's just another location on the island. Granted, a very old one with some scary stories behind it. This engine is stubborn. A lot of stubborn engines as of late. Henry is currently being stubborn, and welcome back, Mr. Ragusa. Be careful, I hear wheel slip up the hill sometime can be terrible, and engines will go flying right back down the line the same way they drove up. We had a derailing incident a while ago when one of the engines failed to apply their brakes on the hill at the right time, and it went terribly. Stubborn Stanier, so to say. Very stubborn. They're almost as stubborn as Mike. Alright, Henry, we gotta speed up the pace. Come on, man. You're making this much more difficult than what was originally planned. We should have been at our station by now. Alright, we might have to apply a bit more speed, which is a dumb idea, especially when you're driving a heavy train through rain, but if it gets us to where we need to be faster, the better. Like, we're literally at full throttle. I'm literally looking... And you... Okay, Henry. Brakes are fully off. If you stop this train in the middle of the line... Isn't that the entrance to... No, isn't that the first tunnel to Kildane? No, we're heading backwards. Henry, you were going that way, towards it. There's a Sir Loham hat. Sir what? Alright, wait a minute. My memory is like kicking in. I know where we are. Henry, this is where you stopped at during the runaway, I believe. You know when your train started to slip down the line on the ice because it was snowing? Yeah, this is where you had your little spook, isn't it? You know, understandable, you're terrified, but I'd rather go home today. Home is sounding really nice right about now. Oh, sweet. Lordy mine. Okay. Stop the engine, Edward. Stop the train. Another day of Henry's nonsense. What is with the big engines and giving me nonsense as of late? Holly doesn't give me nonsense. But when it comes down to you two, Mike and Henry in the last streams, you two have really given me some headaches. Real headaches. Not you, Edward. It's just, come on, Henry. You pull this train almost every day. You're telling me that you're struggling with it now. Do you need a break, a breather, a rest? Positively. Well, while you have your little rest, I'm just going to sit in here. I'm just going to take a seat, close this door, and just sit back here until you just think it out, man. Sir Loham hat appears in a Thomas episode, Double Trouble. It is a Shallon Miller. It's a Shallon Miller episode. I will have to watch it then. This is actually... Oh, we can go to the other coach. We're not even close to the nearest tunnel, Henry, and you're already stopping. You're making this much more difficult than what needs to be. Everything. Confusion, delay from Henry is a very rare occasion, but when it happens, boy, it can be tiring. Oh yeah, that's not terrifying in the slightest. Just gonna close you back up. What's in here? We're just gonna leave all these doors open so I can get back through the coaches easily. I will have to go through the coaches and make sure no belongings were left behind. I should do that now. Do not open any windows on said coaches. Very bad idea. Especially when you're stopped in the middle of the line. You never know who could be out here around these things. Close the window, good sir. We're leaving off the coach and we're getting back onto Henry. Hopefully your little break is done. You've had your time to all out, I suppose, Henry. Let's get going back on the rail, shall we? All right. Let's try this again, Henry. It's 100% safe. We can never be followed. Never, never. It's always safe on Sodor. What do you mean? Gordon scared me. My favorite line, Gordon scared me. Percy's best line, Gordon scared me. Alright. Come on, Henry. Back up the line we go. Edward's ready to go. Alright. He's been very patient. Let's go. Brakes off. Not even a puff, Henry? Come on. You might be followed by Diesel 10. Don't say that. There's no way. Alright. I'd rather not encounter Diesel 10. Nothing wrong with Diesel 10. I'd just rather not encounter him out here on the rails today. Let's just get this train moving. Come on. Come on. Oh. I'm seeing some wheel turnage. What was that? Have you watched Shining Time Station? I know where Shining Time Station is. Yes, I've watched Shining Time Station, and we actually have a Shining Time Station. We don't use it anymore. It's quite abandoned, but Diesel 10 is the last of my worries. Exactly. Like, you can encounter so many other engines out on these rails. So many strange encounters on these rails. Or just, like, strange people, strange engines. I don't think I've ever encountered like a ghostly encounter, just strange people. But then again, everyone acts strange when it rains, I suppose. I'm gonna butcher that name if I try to pronounce it, but yeah, I remember that. I don't even remember how I watched Shining Time Station, because it definitely wasn't airing on the TV. Channel that I used to watch Thomas and Friends on, Sprout. Alright, we're finally getting back up some speed. Skeever. Sprout takes me back. Yes, good old Sprout. I missed that show. Unfortunately, I used to remember that lady's name who used to introduce us to the show, who had that star that she was always talking to. I used to always remember her name, but it's lost to me now. I loved Sprout back in the day. I used to... How did that happen? Alright, first glitch of the day, but Sprout was my channel. Like, anytime I wanted to watch Thomas and Friends, at least I know where to find it on TV if I was bored of watching the same episodes on tapes. You know, at least the train's moving again, I suppose. When we reach the incline of wherever Henry is stalling us right now, because we're like on the outskirts of the Sodor Ironworks engines resting spot. This is where the Sodor Ironworks engines rest at. Usually around this area, near the quarry, and you're stalling outside that area. If we stop outside that area and have to get another engine just to get you past Kildane, that would be another insane feat. Maybe that is a hill. How steep is this incline? Oh, I am just now seeing. You don't see that when you're looking at it from from a straight on, but yeah, it's a bit of an incline that they're climbing up right now. I didn't even notice that. You know, it should have been a dead giveaway that we're in the rolling hills, and it appears those hills are escalating and going upwards. Well, then maybe it wasn't a bad idea that I stopped that far back, because we could have been at the bottom of the hill for all we know, and now we're just now traveling up the top. Crazy thing is, I don't think this is Gordon's Hill. This is definitely not Gordon's Hill. Is that a tunnel we're approaching up ahead? I swear, the tunnel placage just every like 5 minutes whenever you're traveling down the line is crazy. I think you go through at least, what, I want to say like 14 tunnels before you reach the end of this, like where it ends. There's like, why? What is with all the tunnels? It's one of these tunnels is just like unnecessarily like long. You'll be in straight pitch black darkness for a full 5 minutes before you reach the end, depending on the speed you're traveling. If you're going like, blitzkrieging down the line, you're gonna get there really fast and you're gonna be out of the tunnel in no time. But if you're going this slow down the line, yeah, prepare to have a fun experience traveling at 5 miles per hour in pitch darkness for the next hour. Where are we going? When did we suddenly get to the quarry? Are we about to get chased by that boulder thing? I don't like where this is going. This is usually how horror movies begin. Or in this case, this is usually how a horror episode will begin. We were always at the quarry. I don't like the Rusty and the Boulder standard gauge edition. We just round the corner and we see the boulder just like at the top of the bridge over there. This doesn't feel ominous at all. Let's see where this takes us. Okay, they gotta have like updated the map or something, because I have no memory of passing through here, and it's probably because I never really, certain parts of the map even I haven't traveled, like going up that Kildane up near where the ironworks engines are. I haven't fully explored up that way. I only explored to a certain distance, but certain parts of the maps I still haven't explored, so this is some new territory. Hope you guys like tunnels, because here we go. Say goodbye to any light source that we had for however long this tunnel is. This is where the fun begins. This train is moving so slow. I'm about 100% sure I could jump off while it's still driving, run to Edward, hop on board his cab, and start to mess with the controls. Hop right back off, run back to Henry, hop on, and still do that all without the train like surpassing me in speed. Do I want to risk doing that? It's a good episode setting. It really is. Even worse, I'll do you one better. Imagine seeing Freddy Fazbear's eyes glowing right behind us, right there, or the Mimic or something. Just make this even more terrifying than what it already is. We still got, oh, we reached the end of the tunnel already. Now, where are we? Where was this? Oh, isn't that the tunnel that we stopped at with Iron Mike? Where I was like, I wasn't going in because I was about to walk in alone without like Mike with me. Frederick Prescott. Why? That is the tunnel. That's the tunnel that we stopped outside of. Oh, Henry, I understand why you slowed down then and you're now just starting to get up speed. What's wrong with that tunnel though? What's specifically wrong with that tunnel? Something ominous is in that tunnel, and eventually I want to go back and see what it is. Not at this stream, I'll do it in my own time, and I'll record a video and show what I find. Since Henry here seems to be so frightened by it. Something's wrong with that tunnel, and I feel like being an explorer today. If I don't come back, you guys know what happened. Gotta find the Kildane experiment. Nah, I'm just lying. That's a myth. That's a story someone made up, I believe. Was that a weeping angel? No, there's no people out on the stations now. Nobody in the signal box, I see. If you record it, we're getting found footage horror now. Townsend Friends. I've heard, yeah, I remember. I've heard of that. But it wouldn't be found footage. It wouldn't be a horror found footage. You know, it's just a tunnel. I'm just sure that the engines have like a reason why they don't really like it. They seem fine now. Are we approaching another tunnel? What is with you guys? It's nothing bad over there. It's just a tunnel. I've never seen someone so terrified of a tunnel before. I get being afraid of the dark, but being afraid of a tunnel is something completely different. You do realize that these are all over this line, right? So slowing down is just, you know, we're already like late. There's not even confusion and delay anymore. It's just delay and worriness. I'm pretty sure Sir Topham Hatt, when we saw him driving his car all the way back there, however long ago that was, has already arrived at, like, way ahead of us. And he's pulling in K1 characters. Yeah, we still got to check out all the liveries that everyone's talking about. But I thought this was going to be a quick journey, but then Henry decided to stall out. And so we had to go and get Edward to come and help. And now we're slowing down in the tunnel again. Back in the darkness we go, I suppose. Nothing more relaxing than driving a train than pitch darkness. It's times like this I kind of do wish I had somebody, like, driving the train with me who just, like, stands there. I know, like, the staring at, like, them staring at me every now and then would get annoying or creepy. But, you know, it's somewhat comforting to have at least somebody in the cab here with me, and I'm not running both engines alone. Please do not stop in the tunnel. That would be the worst. Do not do that. Please, I'm getting to... Okay. We're doing this, aren't we? A quick journey for Henry is 6 months. Yeah, I'm just now realizing that. Do not. Please, 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 please. Just keep going. Keep chugging. Keep chugging. Okay, you can get to a snail pace crawl, but just do not stop. Just do not stop in the tunnel. And added new characters, Bill Bennett. His name is Timothy. And we're dead. We are going to be murdered. Do not back up. Why are we reversing? I don't like where this is going. I don't want to get out to move to Edward because I can't see. It's pitch black. I don't have a lamp. I don't have anything. Freddy Fazbear is going to get you. Something's going to get us. We're dead. We're just dead. All right. This suddenly went from a calming, like, train simulator game with us just like driving some silly liveries to amnesia real quick, and I do not think I want to play. But oh god, why did I do that? Okay, just stick to the tunnel and find Edward's cab. No, I can't. Going back to Henry. I'm just gonna have to get back on Henry. I don't know what to do at this point. The engines are completely stalled, and I can't get to Edward to change his controls. Hello, NYC. I still gotta find better names to call everyone when they enter the stream, because we're currently stuck in a tunnel right now with Henry, because Henry decided to stop in the middle of a tunnel. Do they? Oh, okay. That is... I'm so happy you said that, but no, I'm good. Why does the flashlight made it much more worse? I feel like something's gonna crawl out from underneath the wheels and grab me. All right. No, oh, okay, don't do that. I thought that was like a door or something, like a pathway. Just gonna sneak on past you here. Definitely nothing ominous about this. Alright. Okay, another one of these little weird thingies, and we're at Edward's cab. Edward, you were just in complete darkness alone, friend. I apologize. Let's turn on your headlamp. Okay, so what just happened? What just happened? What? I am genuinely confused. Hello, Freddy Gamer. What just happened? Everything just went black after I. We're back in the. We're stuck in the double tunnel. We just got put into a loop. We've been killed. Exactly. What just happened? We just got put into a loop. We're dead. We just got murdered. The boiler exploded. We were walking towards Edward. For some reason, I had forgot to turn on his headlamp. So Edward was just in complete darkness alone. By the time I got on his cab and turned on the light, everything just went black. I don't know what happened. Okay, so Edward and Henry are currently stuck inside of a tunnel. I'll have to go get them out later. I was going down to the tunnels anyway, so I'll go and retrieve them later. But they're currently stuck in a tunnel, both Edward and Henry. That's okay. Something, I don't know, something got to us. Something killed us in the dark. We were murdered, okay? We were just officially murdered. But why are we back? Yeah, fellas, this is where we die. We've been brought back. I don't trust. The weeping angels are surrounding me. I'm just gonna go hide over here in the grass to get away from this because I'm terrified, you know. So, Henry's gone. Uh, so is Edward. Has the TO2 spawned again? No, we're getting even worse. Like, the worst of the worst. Right now, we're facing, like, I don't know what happened. Like, everything went dark in the tunnels and we started to slow down. And the weeping angels are now approaching me. Small problem if we don't get them out soon is you'll need to replace Neo or back. If we don't, oh yeah, if we don't get them out soon, we will. I'll have to get them out pretty soon. But we spawned at this station when we first started. Sir Topham Hatt saved us. I don't know where Sir Topham Hatt. We saw him at the crossing, which is kind of a terrifying reference. Are we dead? Are we in purgatory? Because I saw Topham, and we are definitely in purgatory. I'm looking at the same woman at least 4 times. Yep, we're dead. I knew something was off. You can just spawn Henry. No, the canonic, like, in actuality, how this works is they're now officially stuck in the tunnel, so we'll have to retrieve them. I'm just gonna go walk this direction. How about that? How about that? Y'all just stay down there. Yeah. I'm just gonna get some distance from all of you creeps, you cretins, you terrifying creatures of the night. Of all characters, we lose Edward. Exactly. It's the twins from The Shining. Do not say that. Where'd they go? Wait. Am I looking the wrong direction? I'm about to say, where did they go? I got scared. Why does it look like, why do the raindrops look like that? Ugh. Use the worst effect for the raindrops. Isn't this the 5th game? Anyway, look at them. The twins down there. Right next to each other. And they have a triplet standing all the way down there at the end of the station. I'm terrified. I've lost sight of all the engines and oh yeah, we're definitely going to die eventually. I don't know what's happening and I'm quite scared. And some of the you know, why are y'all covering y'all faces? Yeah. Yeah, it was nice knowing you all. They want you to come. No, thank you. They can stay with it. Look at that. Yep. This is where we die, fellas. It was good knowing you all. It was good knowing you. What year are we in? And why are all of you standing so still? We were taking that toxic stuff. Oh yeah, whatever that stuff was in whatever that stuff was that was in that containers that Mike had, we definitely, something happened. I don't think we ever made it to that station. When I walked into that tunnel, something happened. Something's not right with that tunnel. Oh, okay. You're just gonna spawn out of nowhere and act like we didn't just see you. What's over there? The luggage department? You walked from... Okay. Where did you come from? I watched you walk from this direction. Okay, no. This is like... We'll spawn in another engine to get out of here. Because we got the demons all around us and clones all over the place. Oh yeah, your faces look even more terrifying. Alright, so we're going to die, and I'm going to spawn a train to get us out of here. I don't care who, though. Perhaps Thomas himself. We'll use Thomas to get out of here. Not my livery Thomas, but Thomas, because I know I have a speed button with him, and he's not going to slow down halfway up the line. Spawn Duck. Duck. You want to take Duck up the line of all engines. Alright, let's take the diesel Duck. Where's our good friend Duck? Let's see how Duck likes the line. If he... There you are, good old friend Duck. Here's our friend Duck. Let's see if he likes the line. Yes, Duck he's currently not very happy and is not going to talk to us, but I know he will not fail us when it comes to getting up the line. You can always trust in the Great Western engine. You know, I should have started with Duck because, you know, Duck would have got us there on like the first time. And firstly, I need to, there's a key somewhere I need to switch because I know they will not let me move this engine unless I do. But I'm probably tripping because every diesel I've had to start in the last game, I need to flip a key. Montague is not happy. You should do Devious Diesel as a steam engine. Oh, he would hate that. Duck, can you get us there in a timely fashion with no cargo, nothing holding you back? Just please get us to where we need to be, which is Buxton. So Topham Hat's going to wonder where Henry is because he was supposed to be here. But Duck, or Diesel Duck, whatever we want to call you, you'll get us there, right, pal? Right, Duck? I'm sure he will. Let's go. Come on, Duck, buddy, old pal. Let's go. I don't know what his full speed is. Hopefully fast so we can get out of here as quick as possible. He made a boxcar person and lady. I can do. This is the livery weekend celebration part of the anniversary, so that can be. Boxcar. Not happy. I'm sure it's alright, Duck. You'll be fine. You look great, Doug. Alright, first tunnel. You're not the fastest engine we have, but you'll certainly get us to where we need to be. Okay, you have no lights installed on you. No, okay, it suddenly just became a lot more worse driving with Doug. Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I got some cab lights around here somewhere. Maybe I'm just tripping. Is that him? Check the driver. I'll check the... Yeah, we also need to check the driver. Here I go messing with the switches again. There we go. Alright, Mr. Driver, how do you look? How are you looking? Why are you staring out the back of him? You are facing the completely wrong direction, my friend. Yeah, that's not terrifying in the slightest. Now he's just staring at us. Watch his suit. The eyes, exactly. Look at the deadpan eyes. He's not blinking. There's no blink in those soulless eyes. I saved the game, so when it loaded me back into the save, it just brought me here. But now we have Duck. And you know what? Duck, you look fantastic. You know, we should have brought Stephanie out. He's literally driving Duck without even having to look. The man is a true menace to society. He might even be like ahead of his time. Now, if we had some duck music, I was thinking of Stephanie. We should have drove Stephanie, shouldn't we? These are all liveries that I definitely need to get to. Now, Stephanie as a steam engine, I'm gonna write it down. As soon as I need to get some more writing paper to write all this. Doug, did you just stop? Hold on, rewind the stream. What just happened? Why are we slowing down? What was that about? Doug, yeah, Doug. I don't like your smile. Your smile's telling us stuff that. Your smile is speaking 1,000 words. 1,000 words that terrify me. I don't think this is Doug. I don't think we're driving duck. Yeah, well, I'm gonna stop. It's actually, it could be now that you mention it. 100%. He's in disguise. You know, Duck, you scare me a little too much. What sort of demon have you summoned? I summoned Montague. I think that's who this is. Yeah. No. I was about to jump. I was legit about to jump out of this train and just let him go in the tunnel alone. I am not driving this demon, like being alone with this demon in a dark tunnel, because this is not Duck. We are obviously trapped on like a nightmare engine. That would require some technique just to do in your cab. It looks much more terrifying than any of the other engines. That will be tricky to do, but it can be. Yeah, it can be done, but it takes a lot to do that, because Train Sim World 5, they won't allow you to connect certain engines together, so the Thomas DLC isn't compatible, because I was just planning on connecting the DLC Thomas to the Gordon I have, since it looks like a realistic Gordon. Oh, yeah, we'll definitely need a lot of those to help get through this, because we're definitely in... I don't know why I thought it was a good idea for us to like be out on the line during like a stormy day. I thought it would be nice. I thought it would be lovely, you know, to just be out on the rails. I probably should have checked the weather and not have brought this demon on the rails with me. In fact, I don't want to drive you anymore, Doug. You were pretty good for getting us halfway up the line, but I'm just going to stop here. You know, Duck, you might be a good choice when it comes to getting up the line. I don't know where we just stopped at, but this place don't look too nice. Dark tunnels. Because I thought it would be a good idea for us to go down each of the lines, you know, while it was raining and do some work. We need Hero. Hero would save us. Hero would definitely get us up the line faster. Duck, good friend, a bud, old pal. It was nice having you, but I don't think you're Duck. But I'm sorry, you're definitely, but you know, Great Western Railway. I see the logo, but please get out of my face. I don't think that's Duck. That was definitely not Duck. We're going to need another engine out on the rails. And, you know, matter of fact, I'm going to bring out somebody who's just never had any screen time. So, no, not you. Tobias dies. I'll discuss in the meeting. Gotcha. But who should we bring out? You there, good sir. You seem like a mighty choice. Will you get us down the line fast? Alright, you only made an appearance in the books, so I don't know your track record speed when it comes to working. Yes, it's the Flying Thistle. He never made an appearance inside of the show, and you are only a book character, I believe. I only ever seen you in the books, but you seem like a decent engine. And I hear you're related to Gordon, so in the Flying Scotsman. So let's see if you're a pretty decent engine. All right, let's see how this goes. Hopefully we do not crash the Flying Thistle like when he was first here. Never leave me in charge of driving engines. He was re-illustrated, faceless, yes. So technically speaking, this is just 100% the Flying Thistle. Not even a Railway series book, he's a magazine and comic character. Hey, he still counts. Okay, okay, I get it. Whoa, 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 calm down there. That was a good wheel slip, pal. Oh, he definitely can get us down the line fast. He knows the mission. Good man. The Pullman coaches. Do you have Pullman coaches? I have to go through the coaches to see if I do. Okay, Flying Thistle, you're kind of failing me a bit. You're going backwards and we need to be going forwards. I don't know if you're at full speed, Buckaroo, but we'll see. Okay, now you are. Alright, he'll, when in doubt, Flying Thistle. Oh yeah, you're right. Let's keep it on moving. Let's hopefully his wheels don't slip. And he'll get us there fast, because when driving Gordon without the coaches, Gordon works perfectly fine. So I'm sure that he'll be the same. Okay, your wheels are kind of slipping there, pal. No traction. It's so shiny. Yeah, the Flying Scotsman liveries are always very shiny. Like, that's one detail I wish they had on all the engines, but it only... Well, actually, there's another way. You can make the Jubilees actually have that same shine effect if you spawn them in Crimson, because they have the basic version and the Crimson version. What is that flashing light on your tender? Is that a tracking device? He's alerting the Kildane experiment to our location. Oh, we're making quick pace. I should have just spawned with you from the get-go. You probably would have got us down the line way faster. I have no idea why we sent you away. You are being tracked. Oh boy, yeah, we're gonna die. Luckily, look how fast the Flying Thistle is going. Ain't nobody catching us. Alright, we're moving at the speed of sound right now. Matter of fact, I feel like we can increase we can take this full throttle. Driver, the Flying Thistle has betrayed us. The driver is still... No, wait, is that a purple suit? Caught him in 4K. We caught the driver in 4K, and this time he's wearing a whole purple suit. He was wearing a blue suit when we were driving Diesel. I remember earlier, before we got no Duck, when we were driving Duck. I remember he was wearing that blue suit. How did it go to purple all of a sudden? He's wearing a purple suit now. Ah, tricky. Caught in 4K. Why are you slowing us down at this station? I exposed his secret. He didn't like that. I am going to show you the inside of this cab. You can clearly see that this is at full throttle. The speed is at max. Look at that. You see that? Why are we stopped? It's always at a tunnel too. Why is it always at a tunnel? And now we're stuck here. It's always at a tunnel. What is in those? And that just looks ominous. I can already see death in there waiting for us. Look at that. Why are there so many of them all of a sudden? They never really gather on the bridge like that. And look at that dude's feet clipping to the ground over there. He has brains. Oh yeah, check the drive. Let me check on him right now because he was wearing that purple suit. Yeah, I got my eye on you, Mr. Purple Suit Man. that dead-eye appearance our characters possess, and we're still being tracked by what I do not know. Okay, so let's try to fix this problem. We'll do that. Decrease the speed all the way, and then don't do this to us. I will leave you here to your own devices, Thistle. You are not my biggest, my biggest quota to save right now, so I will leave you here. If you want to die to the Weeping Angels, be my guest. Yeah, I know. I know I do, but I'm just trying to get out of here really quickly, so I'm not trying to fully set up each locomotive. And I know when I'm driving certain engines, you don't really need to do that for them. But when it comes down to me, I'm trying to get going. We're being tracked by Sir Topham Hatt. Oh yeah, he heard that we were late. He's not very happy about it. You were really good. You were a really good engine, Flying Thistle. Really good engine. You got us about halfway up the line before you broke down completely. I'm pretty sure the frickin' behemoth can get us there faster. I have an idea, but I don't think it's a smart idea. Now, let's use James. He's a bright red engine. James is a very viable option, but if we want to get there fast and probably crash into the station at Mach 5 speeds if we're not careful, the behemoth will get us there. Or, if we want real speed and a chance of slowing down, another option that we could use is the Warrior. But James is such a nice, lovely red engine, and it would be nice to have him on the line, even though we're currently stuck inside of a death loop, apparently. Yes, but we'll die if we drive that thing. We're already dead. But James it is. If James breaks down, the last good engine I can rely on. If he breaks down, well, there's more engines I can rely on, but if James breaks down, we're gonna have to do the unthinkable. And just for good luck, we'll use the Railway Series livery of James. Come on, James. It's time for you to make your debut appearance. Welcome back, James. It's good to have you back on the railway. You look fantastic. Your running board is wrong, and you have the wrong set of wheels, but it's good to have you back, friend. We might use Bear next. We could use Bear. I've never driven one of the diesels. Or should we use Diesel 10? Diesel 10 is a viable option too. Plus, if we're using Diesel 10, what ghost engine is going to want to come after us? Bear. This edition of the livery have the numbers on the front. Boko or Boko. We'll see who wants to be. We'll see. Let's see. Where's Boko? And then where's Bear? But Bear and Boko. Let's see. Boko. Which way are you looking? We got Boko, and now we need Bear. But the only problem is, what engine did I use him for? What engine did I use? I don't remember the... There we go. Remember, it was the Class 47. So we got two options here. We got Boko and we got Bear. Bear doesn't have a face though. Boko works pretty well. When it comes to pulling cargo though, he's not the best. Bear or Boko? I would take both of them if they would allow me to drive two diesels at the same time, but we just can't. Tell you what, Boko, since Bear is... Okay, we'll use Bear this time, but Boko, for the... When we go exploring that tunnel later to save Henry and Edward, we're taking you with it. I'll take you with me into the tunnel. I swear nothing can go wrong if you got Boko with you. So Bear it is for now. But Boko, you'll help me go through the treacherous tunnel eventually. Firstly, we gotta take Bear. Now, I've never driven Bear before, so... Yeah, that was the whole reason why I didn't put eyes or a face on Bear, because I didn't want to give him, like, the eyes that will make him glow in the dark and have, like, demonic-looking eyes. Or however you would see it, like, Bear is like a holy spirit. Like, Bear... No one messes with Bear, the God Bear. I didn't want to create God Bear, basically. You know, we already got Percy doing randomness on the railway. God Bear is something we do not need roaming the rails. Just imagine those eyes glowing through a tunnel. You have angered God Bear. He will now destroy all of us. But Bear, I've never driven you before. I don't drive diesels much in this game. And when I do, I only drive the Class 08s. But when I do have to drive you, sometimes I know what I'm doing. But this time, we do not. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Come on, Bear. Let's get out of here. You should do Hornby accurate. Let's go. Big tunnel trip. I don't like tunnel trips. Wait. There we go. Here we go. We got Bear moving. Thank goodness for Bear. I could do that. I got a lot of liveries now to work on, so the list keeps expanding, but you know, the whole channel is was dedicated to making liveries before we moved into show making. But now we're into the show making, and we're still going to be getting some liveries too. How nice. Bear, why are you going so slow? I think I have you going at full throttle. Max speed 95 miles per hour. Not how I drive. Where's the sanding? But Bear, you are literally like the strongest like engine on the rails just because of the high beam eyes you have. I know you're not scared of a few like a tunnel. Never mind, this view is 100% more terrifying because we're going through this like in first person now. We get to experience death at the first hand and the engines don't have to be there with us. At least Bear has some company. Did I turn on the lights before we went in here? I sure didn't. I hope you guys like pitch black darkness, because that's where we're going. I was just joking. Please bring the lights back. Okay. Well, this suddenly became less fun. What do you mean the door? Don't say the door as I'm entering an extremely dark tunnel and I can't see anything. Oh yeah, this is I really wish I probably... Stop, don't say the door. There's no door. I closed the door. Door is closed. Alright? It's not open. I know the door isn't open, alright? Bear would not like do us like that and get me killed off rip, alright? Bear is a good engine, alright? The doors isn't open. We're just gonna get through this tunnel. Nothing unusual is going to happen. We're going to live. Alright, we're going to survive. No. I can't see a thing. I love the door. Exactly. I love the door. In fact, we're dead. Don't say that. We will survive. We're almost at the end of the tunnel, and Bear might be picking up some speed right now. Exactly. The door will keep us safe at all times, alright? It's at 100% power. I'm sure we'll survive. But it appears that the tunnel is slowly getting further away. We're gonna live. I know we'll live. Alright, I've done this many of times before, as we've seen. Surviving this is nothing but a dream. We will always survive. The door should open. The door should not open. The door should stay closed at all given times, you know, forever. The door, in fact, I have super glued shut just to make sure nothing, you know, tries to kill us while we're going through this tunnel. So therefore, the door is shut. I know it's shut. Now, if it's open, when I get up, after I know I shut it, the crash out will be the smile room. Don't say that. Like, just imagine, we can't see anything right now, so imagine if there's something like standing behind us this entire time, just staring at us as we're having this conversation. And the moment we leave the tunnel, that door will be open, and that thing will be gone. But it's still in the cab here with us, just waiting for us to enter another tunnel before it attacks. Three days at the tunnel, yet 4 years later, and we're still in the tunnel. Now, I cannot hear what's going on in the game, so any audio that y'all might be hearing that could be scary or terrifying, y'all are all hearing that. I'm not hearing any of it, which was good on my part, because I think I don't need to hear the ambience of us going through this tunnel. And that yellow light right there, that yellow light is going to make me jump, because I keep thinking it's like a one singular eye staring at me in the dark. If that light just started flashing out of nowhere, it's Foxy. Don't say that. He's just watching us from the doorway. He's just waiting, and we're almost at the end of the tunnel. Can we put some pep in the step? I can literally see like the shine of the rails and how slow we're going. We're gonna get attacked. Something's gonna attack us while we're down here. I literally have it going full speed right now, and Bear just does not care. Bear doesn't care. We need Glamrock Freddy. Springtrap is in the tunnel. No, that is the worst thing we can find in this tunnel. We already are. Isn't this dude currently dressed like the purple guy? In fact, we forgot to check the driver. He probably changed like 4 different times while we were in this tunnel, and I couldn't check because we were in pitch darkness. The driver is currently like the biggest suspect when it comes down to these streams, because he changes so much throughout the streams and strange stuff happens whenever I'm streaming. But whenever I'm not streaming, he's the same guy every time, but he tends to like to change a lot while we're on the stream, and we are the driver. So I'm like, what's going on here? He was exactly, remember that he was wearing a purple suit when we first started this. He was like, remember, purple suit with like a purplish undershirt. No, do not get on this train. We're almost at the exit of the tunnel. Bear, we are almost there. Dave Miller. Almost at the end of the tunnel, and I feel like you're slowing down by the second. All you needed to do was follow. Goodness, Bear. If this is the same tunnel that we went through, that Henry and what's his name were struggling to get through, it's just these specific sections of tunnels, which is crazy because these are the same tunnels that I used to film episode 0. And this like little problem that I'm having now, where I can't, every time I go through a tunnel, the engines like start to stall. Not really a thing. Thanks, Barry. You finally got us through the pitch black darkness that was the tunnel. Why are you staring at us? And you're wearing a different suit. You saw that. He knew that we were going to check. He knew that he was going to check. I already checked her out. He knew that we were going to check. Caught in 4K. And we caught him staring. Look at him, and he was staring as I was looking at chat just now. 400K, we caught you. Why does he keep looking at us? Every time I move the camera, he looks in that direction. Yeah, you're shady, man. The driver is a... Nah, bro's the spy. Bro's definitely is. Why are you stopping us outside of the old mill? This is a very, this is a location that has some history to it. Why would you stop us here, though? Can we get back to pace? I'd rather not stop here. Now, this place is definitely haunted. No engine stops here. Yeah, we're dead. Do not stop here. Stopping here, Bear, is never a good idea. Alright? I've heard some stories here. Look, man, look, Bear, if you're really curious and interested about it, you can ask Edward. He knows all about that. But I don't want to get caught dead there, alright? So let's literally caught dead there. We already got a creepy enough driver. Look at this man. Got freaking shape-shifting William Afton over here, the mimic, driving Boko. Lorries are going to take over. Why are you stopping? This just feels like the start of a really, really, really deadly horror movie. Yeah, can we, like, rev up the engine, please? Bear, if you move faster, I'll make a custom for you. I hope you don't encounter. I hope I don't encounter anything. Encountering anything on the rails right now is not a good idea. Alright, Bear, I'm gonna cut power for now, which is probably the dumbest idea to ever do. But it's, just so we can catch up some speed. Alright. You're creeping to a slow halt there, buddy old pal. I literally know what station this is. You notice something that I also keep noticing is that the engines keep stopping at every station after we get through a tunnel. Even at full throttle, they keep stopping in front of the station. Why doesn't Bear have a back? Because like I said, this is version 1 of Bear. Actually, I don't think he even has a version, because I was still discussing the eye thing. They gotta take a Exactly. You don't have a passenger train, so why are you moving at like Mach 2 speeds? These engines, and now we're back in Creek Mania Part 2 at Matlock Bath. Wherever that is in Sodor, wherever that is. He's collecting the Weeping Angels. Well, he can keep collecting the Weeping Angels. Have fun with that, Bear. Like, I get it. Like, you want to stop and help your friends, and we have the freaking Shining Time sisters over there. Not the Shining Time. Yeah, well, now, Shining Time. Terrifying as usual. Bear, actually, since you want to stop at this station, instead of despawning every engine that wants to stop at the station or stop halfway the way, I'm gonna leave it there. You can have fun here, keeping them distracted, while I escape with my life. You should do spam cam. Another livery to right down on the list to do. Let's see. Who is someone I can trust to get me up the line without failure? Or any problems? Well, if you're going to scare everyone on the line, you might as well, like, you know, just fully go for it. What did Umbrella in front of me just move? Yeah, nah, we good. Not Victoria. Yeah, Victoria will probably crash the moment we start the engine. Like, Victoria is notorious for being a bit of a crasher sometimes. Not crashing out, but a crasher. And when I say a crasher, I don't mean like crashing trucks. I mean she'll literally crash the game. While I was setting up the stream, Victoria, I was putting like a lamp post, like one of those lamps on the front buffer beam, and then I was immediately clipped and thrown through the map. I don't know what I did, but apparently, you know, Victoria did not want a lamp, so she prefers not to have a lamp on her front buffer beam. Keep that in mind, or you will be chucked underneath the map at 500 miles per hour. I just looked up and all I saw was me flying through the map at Mach 5 speeds. Alright. You are, let's fix your face first, friend. Let's just go ahead and fix your face. You got something wrong with your face. There you go, friend. Hello, bowler. Last time I heard of you, you had a hat stuck inside your exhaust. But let's get you going. You know, you haven't been on the rails in a while, so hopefully you got your, you got everything together. Let's go, bowler. Need you in whatever. Did the game? Please, no. Please do not tell me. I will lose it if this game just crashed as I went to the map. I don't want to reset this stream. I really don't. Please. It did, didn't it? It's one of those times when a valid crash out is necessary. A valid crash out is necessary. If I restart the stream, it's going to reset. If I restart the game, it's going to restart the stream. The Railway series version of Bowler is weird. He's painted in a fictional... Oh, it fixed. Mission accomplished. It resumed. I don't know what happened. It had like a small little crash moment. I was sweating bullets. I really was sweating bullets. That was the most scariest encounter. Please don't. Why did I click it again? So I guess it's just lagging now. I can't go to map or it'll lag. Okay, I'll keep that in mind, that map. Keep in mind, map equals lag. Never do map. You can't open map. Oh, dear Lord. You see, this is what makes recording in this game so difficult and filming in this game, because stuff like this happens very occasionally. With the main menu crash. Nothing you can do about it but reset the game. But unfortunately, when you're live streaming off of a console, resetting the game kind of ends the stream, and I don't want to have another 0.5 situation where I have to make a part 2 of the stream. There we go. Alright. Note to self, do not press map, just get off of the train. And you know what, we're going to try, just keep working on Bear to try to get him to move again. If Bear can move again, that'll be great. But if not, I guess we're just stuck here. And we're just going to go into making some liveries. And I also have to remember that Henry and them are still stuck in the tunnel. Alright, Bear, do you want to move for us now? Come on, Bear. It's a success. And he's actually catching us some speed. Maybe we need Thomas. Oh, we're cruising now. He just needed to restock and some supplies, but we're cruising. That's the speed we're okay. What just happened? Everything just went pitch black. Okay, don't crash out. Don't crash it. I died. I died. Okay, it's the tunnels. Something's up with these tunnels. That's the third driver we've lost today. Have you listened to the Mr. Trollo? Yeah, I have, and that's what's currently playing in my head right now as I'm trying to play this game. Freddy Fazbear has got you. We've been killed again. We've been murdered again. What is up with these tunnels? I'm going to investigate these tunnels, and I'm bringing Boko with me. I'll have that video out of what I find later on this week. Hopefully, we can figure out what's the mystery behind these tunnels. Something's not right with the tunnels. We'll figure it out. But on to the liveries, I suppose. But first, on to the online sharing, so we can download some of the liveries that everyone was talking about. First up, I'm gonna have to scroll through the comments, aren't I? If you've mentioned a livery that you've released, so we can download it. I made bear. We gotta find that then, because there's a lot of bears that have been made on this game because everyone possibly has made a bear. It's like when you look up Thomas, you're gonna find hundreds of Thomases. For example, like right there, like you got bear right there, bear right there. Yeah, you got bears everywhere. West Summer Train is pulling around. All right, so but there's only that shouldn't be too hard because it's only like 2 pages apparently of bears. Bear. Is this it? This is what we're talking about? Is this yours? So, all right, that's your Thomas right there. All right. Not to mention, so it's funny that you mentioned that. I've seen this that name tag before. You're the one who's been making the other Thomas liveries. There was another person who was making Thomas liveries alongside me who also used the Thomas design that I had used. Sorry, distracted cat. Welcome back, Active. We're just downloading some of the liveries that everyone had mentioned. So now I got that liveries. I gotta download some more. I downloaded them off of Train Sim World 4, but where's the other ones? My other liveries that I downloaded. I did Rosie. I gotta look up each of these. Also, downloading so many liveries is definitely gonna take up space in the arsenal, but worth it. I'm probably not gonna be able to, because I know you can only make a certain amount go to the main hub. All mine have a Tales Otis time at the end. Yep, all of yours have that at the end, so I can easily tell which one are yours and which one are like. When you tag it like that, Molly. No. I think you're mixing that up with. It could be Molly. I gotta go through each of the subscriptions I have. But matter of fact, because I downloaded all of those off of Train Sim World 4 because I alternate between the two because I've been filming on Train Sim World 4 for some scenes. I did made a Molly. Yeah, I remember. AT. Yep, see, where's the rest of the... This one, this is the one I need right now. This is Active's current one that they released, and yep, got that. Making sure I got all of them because sometimes my liveries like to uninstall. I use AT because they're for you to use. Yeah, Molly, right here. This engine right here that you have made. Yeah, I got it right here. And there's other liveries too, but they're not showing. But I got them. Now the other liveries that we're looking for is a Rosie. Rosie, Rosie, Rosie. Found it. It's pretty good, Rosie. So download that. Also, this is not one of my creations, but it is one that I kind of want to review on stream because this is somebody else's creation. It's a Diesel. We might have to spawn him in a game, like in the server, because his pictures are shown. But this person's Diesel, rail. I'm just gonna call him G Rail PC. Has a really good Diesel livery. It's more cartoonish based, but I really like that DLC. That livery they have. Did the Eleanor livery come? Yeah, I thought it did, didn't it? Wasn't that the one we just? Or was that a different one that I just downloaded? No, I thought. Yeah, right there. Is that what you're talking about? Active. Just downloaded that one right there. Yep. Also, now we have two characters whose names sound similar. We got Iron Holly Molly. Now we just need Iron Jolly. So we got Jolly Molly and Holly. Holly Molly Jolly. And who else am I looking for? Before we go into some livery creations. Also, taking photos is a good way to keep track of what engines I need to keep track of. Pure perfection. Now when almost perfection, Edward needs to be fixed. Should we go ahead and fix Edward right quick? Very easy fix, and Edward can finally have an updated model, so he's not behind on the. He's not behind compared to the other engines because Edward's current model. Oh yeah, you made that Goku Flying Scotsman. I forgot all about that. Yeah, I did. I only made that to go alongside the Yin Yang livery that I have. And that's just for my personal, what's it called, like railway that I'm putting together. It's like separate from the actual, what's it called, but yeah, that's the Flying Scotsman livery that I had made. Doesn't really have a purpose, and nor is it connected to the series in any way. It's just a little fun livery I put together. I was bored. No. My brother had asked me to make a livery that looked like this. And so he said, could you put a design on the back? And it was really difficult. It is for the exactly, but he asked, could I put a design on the back? So I was like, that's really hard to do. But using what little drawing skills I could apply to this game with the curves I had, I was able to do something of putting a Goku on the back of this. That face and like the angles and like how it looks, and never again. Never again. I'm happy he likes it and like he really liked the design, but I don't think I want to do that again. Designing that to never again. But when it comes to advanced designs like that, I say never again, but there's always that part of me that's like, you're going to do it again, aren't you? You just really like making complicated designs for yourself that you'll have to go back through and fix up. These are the photos. These are some photos of liveries that I had taken, that I have released, that were what's called No More Horror. Yeah, No More Horror. I think I'm gonna take a break from the horror a bit. I'm just gonna, because I'm also going over these photos to see what liveries also need to be done, because most of the most updated stuff I do is in photos, because I always take pictures of what I do, or take pictures of the what's called. So these photos help me get through like the TNT vans. TNT vans look great. They don't need any more changing done to them. They look perfect. Great Western Railway orange. Did I click off a gallery like a goof? Don't double tap backwards in this game. Just don't do it unless you want to exit everything. Is Derail Valley. That's another game we're looking into to see if it can be like a viable concept. This one is, that picture, hold up, that picture is much more, where is it? I just saw it. There you, where are you? Don't hide now. We all just saw the photo. This one right here. And it even tells you the location of where this is, but when somebody asks which one looks most like Sodor to you, this doesn't feel like Sodor to me, and it just feels like a section of Sodor. This is what I use for the ironworks. And if you look throughout the photo, you kind of can spot some familiar faces or engines on the road. You see Mike behind the tar tankers hiding like usual because he doesn't want to be bothered while he's sleeping on the job. Holly currently getting some coal, I believe. Victoria and Freya talking to Donald and Douglas. And I feel like someone else is hidden here. It has good mods and has been getting updates. Yeah, I'm looking into getting Derail Valley. Currently, I only have trains right now because it's being used for something that we're working on. And yeah, how did I forget? I gotta release Spencer's how do you say it? Spencer's special, what's it called? Thanks for the blinding light. It also has Jersey. Oh, that would make my life way much more easier. But this was the Ryan model I was talking about when he first appeared, because he only ever appeared in the photo. Poor fellow. He was shelved quickly after. The Fred, yeah, those. I need to release those. I thought I did, but I never did. These belong with Duck. Or, you know, whatever that, because that's not Duck apparently, that's a demon. Annoyingly, the local mods only work for an old version. That, okay. It's always some problem that crops up. But we always take care of it anyway, so it no biggie. Ah yes, unused promotional art. Timothy going through the behemoth scrapyard, because there's not just one behemoth, there's multiple. Only thing is the other engines are currently either missing or gone. Scrapped. There's only one that exists, and that's the last behemoth we have. It was deemed as useless. Oh, and I also need to update this livery. Another good one. This was based off of the model. I love, the one thing I say I do like is when you can use a Fowler F4 is when you can just bring like an actual basis into the game, because that's really easy to do. But when you can just design it to look like 100%, actually it's like you just took the actual model itself and just brought it into the game. Where you can get the if I got the Thomas face mod, like if I was gonna model faces, I probably would just probably do that myself, because I like modeling faces anyway. Just Kali chilling by the sun, watching a sunset. Yeah, Hero was released alongside this pack. They're not even called, I call them packs when I release a livery, but she was released alongside Patchwork Hero, Murdoch, Hank, and Flora. Yeah, Hank. Hank was a livery that I made long ago. This, I was recreating the Hero of the Rail scene, the chase scene where Thomas and Hero are running down the line. I like that it actually tells us where the photos were taken, so you can actually see like where each station was when I took these photos. Yeah, Hank. Hank was released with a scruffy and a heavy cargo pack, but his what's it called never was like completed. Kali having a beach episode. She's just chilling watching the sunset. Yes, Diesel 10 and, you know, the real Diesel 10. Only difference is who's the real Diesel 10. You decide. That photo was for the thumbnail of The Power of Time. The trailer, the season 2 trailer. And that was the thumbnail of that. In fact, you can see in the distance over there, in the shade, you kind of see Edward's Tinder, a bit of Henry, and a bit of Gordon. Because this is taking place during like a certain actual scene that was taking place during like episode that I can't disclose just yet. There is an imposter. I was about to say there's an imposter where, but probably not the best idea because I know where that joke leads. Every tank engine variant that I've created. Thomas, and Thomas. Welcome back, Iwaichi. We're just looking at some photos after the horror show that we just experienced. We got out of the time loop. Thankfully, we're not dead anymore. But we're going all the way back to like the old liveries. These are like liveries that my first days, my early days of creating liveries. I'm going to release my Spencer Flying Scotsman. I shall definitely download that because we're also downloading some more fan or custom made liveries. Oh, you actually just saw an earlier version of Boko, like the pre-Boko. Now, this is when I first ever got Train Sim World. This is like the earlier days of when I was first. This is Stanier Henry. You can see this is amateur hour back when this is when I was really back in the amateur hour. This is like first time me getting back into livery creation and almost like, or custom creations at all on Thomas stuff in about years. Like 8 years worth of me not working on Thomas stuff. This is me getting back into. This was the first thing I ever created. Was Henry. Then it was Gordon. Stanier Gordon, Stanier Henry were the first engines. Tell me Henry be like X. Oh, these are the classic photos, like really classic photos. Now, I can't say what engine this is, but this is what I was talking about when I was saying like that tunnel that we went through in the last stream used to be bright as heck when you went through it. It was literally so bright that it would blind you with how bright you were going through it. It was the training center railway. I can't say what engine this is, but anyone who was in the last episode knows what livery this is. And wait. If I want for the game not to crash and stuff like that, I can just load up the training center because nothing crashes on the training center. Ah, yes. Boko before the face. It looks like, yes. It looks familiar, very familiar. That's Henry about to get scrapped before Sir Topham had saved him. We'll never know. Earlier, like this is the first variation of yin and yang. It didn't have the tree on the back of it, nor did it have its number. And like I said, if you had like a very earlier version, download version, like model that I've made, you have a pre version that just doesn't exist anymore. We got first iteration James. Also, Boko, fun fact, is the only character I've created, which is why when you see me going to load a model of him, his eye, I have different variations of his eyes looking left and right. So if I need him for a certain scene to be looking a certain direction, I can just modify it. Or just spawn him in, but I gotta remember which one is the left and right looking. But it is tedious to have to keep spawning him in and respawning whenever I want him to look a different direction to film. Early days of the Ironworks. Ah yes, the original Flying Thistle. This is the Jubilee Flying Thistle. And this is what I was talking about when I said the name tag thing, because I would always put the name tag on the side of the engine. But now, I guess that model is defunct, and I can use it for a completely different engine now, since it's no longer the Flying Thistle. Wonder what I can turn them into. I'm gonna have to discuss that with my team. We usually have a discussion on what type of engines we can create or make with this. So we can probably turn this into a character, because it's not the Flying Thistle anymore. The Flying Thistle just has an actual model. And back when this was the wallpaper that my channel used to have for a long time. For a while. This was my wallpaper. The A3 Flying Thistle is way better. Exactly, so that model is pretty much just useless now. Another standard Gordon. And then we have, of course, this would be Jubilee Gordon. But technically speaking, it just looks like a blue Henry. If I just took that number off, or I just write up some random lore, if it's true, that's also the case. But I'm probably going to turn that into a blue Henry, because like I said, we have a definitive model of what's his name now. All the Ironwork engines during the filming of the Sodor Ironworks livery showcase. I noticed certain engines don't appear to be the same as they looked a while ago, years ago. But let's get into this section of the video. Jasper food, which is it could be good. So I really do need to update. What is it? The old, like the liveries who are just I'm never going to use again, like that Gordon who's now like a Jubilee version. It's still gonna be available for download, but he's kind of unnecessary to have in the collection now. Well, first things first, who do I want to create today? Well, firstly, we're gonna look up an engine of who should we be creating. I'm going straight to the Discord to see the first request on the list. I think it's the box band stuff, and we'll have to be making some box band Thomas, no, not box band Thomas, box band Percy. Somebody had made just a plethora of orders long ago on the request application, and I got to go all the way back to see what the first request was. First request ever on that request, what's called. Let's see. Oh wait, okay. So paint splatter Thomas. That we're going. I should have gone into the box van Percy and Lady. We'll start with whoever's the first box van depicted on the picture. Box. I forgot all these requests were over a year ago. I see one of them, the ULP skin for vans. We got that. That's done. Alright, so I finally made it all the way back. Toby as a van, Flora as a van, Annie and Claire was a van, done. Stephanie as a van, Percy as a van, Thomas as a van, done. That diesel, police diesel has already been completed. In release. He's been completed in release. Okay, now these are that's like a plethora of narrow gauge engines. Just like a whole plethora. That's a lot. We'll start with the box vans because they have more complicated designs. So first on the chopping block is Thomas's best friend himself, Percy, as a van, and now Philip as a van. That's a lot of vans. Alright, we're going here. New. Birdie the van. How will that work? And we cannot scroll. That's great. Alright, we're gonna have to wing this. I love it when the camera gets soft locked into not moving. That's the best thing to ever happen. Percy, I apologize if your livery comes out a bit wonky, good friend. We'll try to do our best, friend. We'll try to do our best, but camera's locked, so let me just go ahead and look up I want to do the Bachmann Percy. Bachmann Percy, as all, I like his Bachmann's versions of like the engines are like the most accurate when it comes to TV series accuracy. But if I want to go for actual what's called, I would just go from. Hold on, I am currently on. Why did they sell Percy on Bachmann Train's parts store? Never mind. Just in case the engine breaks, I'm probably going to need to get some parts because my Thomas is falling apart. His eyes get stuck. I don't think Liveries will be as wonky as Thomas Kidney's eyes in season 2. Yeah, that's true. And they got one perfectly good photo of him at a side view, so this should be fun. Alright, let's get this started. Can't you just buy parts and assemble them to make an engine? Technically speaking, yeah, but you would have to know how each of those engines are assembled together. Alright, so Percy, your design is going to be a little bit complicated because I haven't done one of these side view designs in a while actually, and I always try to line up everything to be perfectly like how it would be positioned on the actual engine, so So his cab needs to line up with the back wheel of that van perfectly well, just like how his cab would be in this picture that I'm looking at. So, I never took a perfectly good look at that Thomas. I don't think he has the roof all the way to the top. I think it's literally just a side view. I'll have to go back and look, but for now, I'm just going to leave it like that. Change the color. Alright, now we're getting more Percy. Is that a good green? Or should we go a bit more greenish? It has to be greener. This is Percy we're talking about. I'm gonna lower that green just a bit more. Bit right there. Alright, so that's the first start of this. Let's get this party started. Currently making the back part. That is right there. There's that Thomas YouTube group called Thomas, where Thomas grows lanes and goes berserk. What? I am completely left in the dark when it comes to new Thomas lore. I need to catch up. Like, the Thomas fandom is just going bonkers with this. I've never even heard of that. Alright, let's get you looking nice and splendid for your first, I guess. What version of this is your first box van version? Because I've never designed a box van Percy before. At least you can look somewhat more accurate than your steam engine counterpart. That's only because the steam engine just does not look, as good as it would if it was, the actual engine. Your running board might have to sit a bit high in order to show. Push you right there. Comes on the Percy, there's always that, he always has that strangest looking design. That looks good for now, but I'm guarantee you we're gonna have to go back over it again and again and again. It's gonna get tiring with how often we have to do that. There's those funny Thomas parodies like Thomas, Chav, and the I remember Thomas the Unstoppable. Nope, no, that's 2. Confirm that. Put that there. What am I looking at? That's what I'm looking at. There we go. That's a little too... There we go. What I'm doing now is doing like a little shading thing that I do. It's to help the certain details stand out much more better. Copy that. Change color. Do a little zoom in so we can get the finer details. What's funny? He had a nuclear bomb in his car crash in the town of Strawberry Shore. Yeah, I remember that ending. Now, which version of Thomas in the what's it called? Were you talking about? Because there's the Robot Chicken version I remember growing up, and then there's the Mad version. If anybody remembers Mad TV, that was a strange time in Cartoon Network's history. I never understood that show, but it was funny for the time, I suppose. But then again, I haven't seen it in years, so I can't really say if it was like actually good or it's just the rose tinted glasses kicking in. There we go. Copy that. Alright. we're starting to get Percy's shape going. We're starting it. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're moving along swell. Rome wasn't built in a day. Alright, next tricky part of this scenario is designing whatever that is in between his first front wheels. I don't know what that is. Percy is a green with red stripes. He definitely a green caterpillar, especially in this design. I don't know what they were doing when they designed Percy. Somebody was definitely on something while they were designing Percy. I said Percy while they were designing Percy. I might be on something. Then again, it could be just be the PTSD after whatever we were having to put up with while driving Henry. Trying to kill every engine on Sodor. I have no clue. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that's not a canon event that's supposed to happen. Copy you, put you right there. Alright, now this is where it starts to get a bit wonky and a bit tricky. Separate that, go down here. Go here. Perfection. Delete that, copy that, do that, do that. It's like a whole process. Oh, wait. No. So, take this here, do that. I remember Transformers James I remember Transformers 2. That was a good series. It sucks when they had kept taking down his series for copyright and stuff like that. Same for Leo Kim. I used to binge watch Thomas and the Mad Bomber. Just trying to figure out like who was like the biggest, like who was the bad guy. But most of the Thomas creators, that's probably another thing. Most of the Thomas creators that I used to watch, like back in like 2009 and stuff like that, are creators who either don't make videos anymore or are just like completely gone. Like they just up and disappear from their channel without saying a word. Or retired. That's what I meant. They either retired or just up and disappeared from their channels completely. Yeah, I remember that. He just went ahead and told us who the bad guy was, which sucks. I would have really loved to learn who it was, like in the series, but you know, when they kept taking down what more could he do? There was nothing he could do to like stop that from happening. You can't really do much against the copyright, especially when it's from the company themselves. Only Mattel. We're just moving along great right now, so far. Copy that, go down here. Copy this, go down here. Alright, next step, copy this, go here, do that. Bluebell disguised as the Diesel mute who had a Bluebell paint splatter on his back. Yeah, I saw that video that he was talking about, where he was discussing the actual like mastermind behind like everything. That like heavy spoilers, but heavy spoilers to be honest with you. I don't even think that it was copyright. It was because it was about Obama and YouTube didn't like it. Really? I thought it was like a YouTube copyright thing. If that's the case, then yeah, that checks out. YouTube will YouTube. Especially even if it's like, especially, I don't know why they would cancel, like, get on him, especially for 2009, back when YouTube really didn't care much about, like, what was going on their platform. But Percy, you're looking swell, friend. You're looking great. Coming along well. The Mad Bomber had the character's name changed while Thomas has kept every part crazy. I wonder if that's ever gonna like they'll try to attack, because with the way Mattel works sometimes, I wonder how they've never attacked other channels who make fan series like that, or not Mattel, like YouTube, like, because I've seen some pretty funny stuff involving Thomas that definitely probably wouldn't fly on the censors. So the fact that YouTube got on him about that is crazy. We are currently working on that, whatever those line detailing things in between, whatever part of Percy this is. I don't know. I don't know what this specific section is called. One of my friends is making a remaking of the Mad Bomber on his channel. That sounds good. I want, let me know how that goes and how it turns out. I might actually be there to actually see it if I'm not at work, because if I'm not working on liveries or working on the channel, it's always work. Let's see, Percy. That looks just about right. I know it's going to be off when I start to add the stripes. Is Rayman 2.0. I'll check it out. Alright, now for the first one, we're going to add a red stripe. I'm going to start going ahead and adding the red stripe so I can separate the boiler more, so I can know what I'm working with. And I don't lose track of what I'm doing. This isn't even a livery creation at this point. This is literally just art. Because from what I've heard, he knew nothing about Thomas before making Mad Bomber. That's interesting. I thought he had at least some knowledge of the series before, because he seemed like he did. There was that funny video where Thomas was repeating the word potato while the background was potatoes. He had red wheels and no lining. I have no idea what that is. Alright, let's go ahead and... Alright, Percy, you're the fastest livery that I've completed so far. We haven't worked on much this stream, but so far, you're off to a good start. But the lining, the space lining on your, the video was uploaded by a channel called... Alright, name pronunciation is not my best suit. It's not. So, I don't want to butcher that name, so I'll just look it up in the meantime. Put that there. Put you there. You know what, Percy? I think you're coming along great, old friend. You really are. Like, I say that a lot, but we're doing a good job so far, Chan. Good job. We're doing a very good job. I think this is somewhat turning out like Percy, even though it's currently on the side of a box van. And if Mattel, well, not Mattel, if Dovetail doesn't want to add Percy, then I will. Someone will do it. And put the Thanos meme of him saying, "Fine, I'll do it myself." Telling that to the editing side, even though I am the editing side, so I'll just have to do that in post. Alright, now your boiler is a bit offish, and I'm gonna have to adjust that just a bit. About to right there. That's perfect. Change color, and we're gonna put that bada boom, bada bing. Put it right there. Cause his boiler, his firebox, smoke box, kind of sits a bit lower than his boiler. To be fair, Leo was a pyrotechnics guy for films. I know that part about him too. He was really good with those explosions throughout the entire of Thomas and the Map bombing were really well, like really really good. Like you could easily tell he's worked on projects that were much more like technical before he had gotten into like making that stuff. Come on, Percy. How tall is your funnel set? Okay, it stops literally where the top of your was. I'll fix it later. Right now, we just gotta keep on. It will move along. We'll fix any errors in the meantime. Red 10 James. This was back when Ertl was new. Oh, then that was really long ago. Well, in today's standard, that's really long ago, but today, for some people, that's not that long ago. Alrighty then. I think we got the basic shape of him, like the most essential shape done. Just about almost. No, I still gotta work on his cab part. The cab section still needs work. Or 2001. If I remember correctly, it was created in 2000 or 2001. So that, well, yeah, then that's, for me, that's not that old because, that's not that old then. 2000s is the uploader a few years. They uploaded a few years later. He may rest in pieces. Do I want to use this part? I know it's probably going to look wonky. I might have to go through and fix it later. No, that looks like Percy's cat part right there. But it just still feels a bit off. I don't like it. So I'm going to make my job a bit harder on myself and do it the hard way of making a window. Only because I don't like the shape design and it doesn't look like Percy's window shape. Can't just do stuff the easy way, can we? Like that. No, it's sitting too high. Something is wrong, and I'm looking at it. It's his cab. It's too tall. Because that window lines perfectly almost up with his boiler. It sits like pretty dang low. Oh, it's because of the curved roof. I'm mixing up that curved roof. It's the curved roof. I'm honestly surprised he's still doing Thomas stuff. That is surprising. I'm extremely surprised he's still doing Thomas stuff, actually. That's extremely impressive. How did you get into Thomas? I got into Thomas when I saw the Mr. Bubble episode. For me, it was when I was living with my uncle back in the day, and a lot of stuff was going on to the behind the scenes to where I couldn't see my family, and Thomas was pretty much all I had. My mother was visiting, and she had brought me my first Thomas figure a while back, and that was all I really had. that was from her at the time that she like could give me to remember her at any given time. And since that point, it's kind of just evolved. Like my love for him evolved, for Thomas and the series as a whole evolved over time. The longer I like, because it was all I had to watch. I couldn't do anything. I stayed in the house majority of the time. I didn't leave the house often. It was either school, home, school, home, school, home. So because of that, Thomas was like, as embarrassing as it was, because I was such like a loner back in the day. Thomas I considered to be my only friend. But by the time I had gotten up into like high school, I was pretty much bullied out of liking Thomas. And the thing that kind of broke it the most for me is when I had brought my Thomas, the first one I had ever gotten to school. And because I just wanted to have him because it was a comfort thing to have with me at the time. I brought that Thomas to school, and the kids there, they had taken that Thomas and broke him, like completely, like threw him up against the wall and then kept hitting, like breaking him, broke him apart completely. And that was my first die-cast Thomas. The first one that I was ever gifted, and they just destroyed it. And ever since then, I never really kind of got back into the series up until literally a year ago when I had started the channel, because there's a whole, I'll get into later detail down the line of why, the whole reason why I started this channel. They probably would be fireless if they had no Tinder, but I'm now going to release my Spencer Livery Duke and Duchess coach. I will also be there down that. But yeah, that was my reason for getting into Thomas. It was literally because I literally had nothing but Thomas back then. That's all I had. That's all I had to keep me company. So I just fell in love with Thomas in the series. And back then I already liked trains. Like I loved trains back in the day. Ever since I was like a kid, and to this day I always still like trains, but now I actually try to build my own. When I say build my own, that's going to come into play way like years later from now. But when I say I like to build my own, I like to build my own. But right now, I can only do liveries right now because doing all that requires money. So liveries it is, but eventually, or one day, I hope we can evolve to the point where, you know, maybe we're not just making liveries. But right now, the liveries are the best source of which I would consider my train addiction. And just about we have a almost complete Percy. In terms of money, we have no money. Exactly. It's how much money do we have? We have no money, especially with how YouTube refuses to monetize me just yet, and I just got to figure out what's going on behind the scenes with that. So in terms of money, money isn't currently as I would hope it would be right now, to the point where I can be happy and like focus on the other stuff that I would love to focus on, but it's steadily getting there, and stuff like that takes time and patience. So with enough time and patience, anything can be done. Everything can be done with enough patience. And I did not understand that quote until I got older, but it's true. The more patience you have, the better. And now it's time for a bit of shading detail. This is where it starts to get the long and boring part, the shading and detailing, because it takes me hours just to do this sometimes if I'm really going in on the detail. Change that color to that. And should I make it darker or lighter? We're gonna go darker. Now this part is where the shading that I was mentioning in all those previous streams really starts to shine through with that design, because doing this little technique just really brings out some good detail. It's good for detailing. And perception too. Did I mirror that right? Nope. Gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Will that look good? Let's see. Sure does. Looks way better like that now, and it adds that depth perception. I struggle to pronounce that word sometimes. I struggle to pronounce a lot of words, and that is definitely one of the top ranking lists. Put you over here. All right. I'm like sweating bullets trying to get this detail just right on Percy. Percy, whoever designed the shape for you definitely hated anyone who loved model making. You were like the kryptonite of engine design, like engine modeling. Now for the window detail, come on. You can think. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Reginald. You did us a huge favor. You did us a very good favor. We all love Percy, but he's causing me a massive headache right now to design. Okay, cab is almost done. Just a few more hair pulling, and then we'll have a complete, nice looking Percy. Well, cab, because I still gotta work on the front engine detail, but we'll get to that when we get to that. We're gonna come up over here, scroll down, put this right here. How tall? It stops at his window. His coal bunker stops at the window, just at the window, right? It's got to be perfectly in line. Everything has to fit perfectly on the back of this box van. And even if something's just slightly off, it can throw off the entire design. Spencer and Duke and Duchess coach are now released. Alright. Nope. Don't ever show me front-facing Bachman Percy again. That hurt my eyes just to see. I accidentally clicked off of it. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Exactly. It needs to be perfectly balanced. If not, it all falls apart. Okay, I'm not using that. That shape is... It's the shape of some of these, they work up until I start to morph and change the shape of them, then it just looks wrong, and I don't want to... Okay, that's more accurate. That's much more accurate. Nope, 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 wrong, right. Nope, we're just about there, but it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It needs to be a bit... let's see. We'll see. Copy that 3 times. Then... my favorite part. Alright, what's next on the chopping block? Okay. That just about complete Percy design. Hey, Percy, you were definitely the one for the headache. I feel like something's off about it, but I'll fix it up later. Right now, I just want to finish up this cab. Alright, the coal in the bunker detail can wait. Firebox, smoke box. How could I forget the most important detail? And bada boom, bada bang. Now, still gotta add some more detail to him. And I just now realized this is only the side view. We haven't even gotten around to the front view. This is when the tiredness starts to set in, but we must continue. Alright. Next, I'm gonna get the dome. What is it called? Whatever that green thing is located on Percy. I don't know what that is. It's in front of his dome. I don't know what that part is. But you're going on anyway. You look important. Alright, who's next? No, what's next? Alright. Alright, Percy, you just have to be the one who has a very peculiar shaped dome. Make my life easier, why don't you? Oh, I think I found the shape. It's his water-filled cap. Oh, that's what that is. Unfortunately, I don't think Percy came with an instruction manual. Off the top of my head, just kind of bought him on a whim. You know, that's starting to look more and more like Percy. Now for the fun part, the little whistle. And Okay. Looking good, Percy. Looking good. Looking very fantastic. Now it's just a few more cab details we gotta work on because apparently the roof of your cab is sitting too high compared to your whistle because they're perfectly lined up in this picture that I'm looking at. So I'm just gonna have to fix that. And I think we have a full complete Percy going on now. Only took us about half an hour to do. There's some small details I still need to add, though very minute details, but that is a pretty decent looking Percy. Now it's time for a little bit of detailing. Then I might actually go ahead and end the stream after that. After we just get Percy a little bit more detailing in the stream. Let's see, we're gonna go ahead and get you number 6 right there. Now this is the wrong number 6 probably, like the wrong shaped or wrong design, but it works. Okay. Percy is looking fantastic. Welcome to the railway, box van Percy. Still some minute details I need to touch up on and work on the back and front, but I think that's a good stopping point. He looks pretty good. What do we think? Am I missing something? That looks like Percy to me. He looks pretty accurate, I would say. He looks amazing. Thank you. Now I need to later on add some shading detail, but that's pretty much how I create these little side views engines. It's literally just using my eyes and taking reference from what I'm seeing on like a Bachmann model and translating that over onto a looks very Caterpillar. Can you showcase Rosie? Yeah, we'll do a small little showcase before we end the stream, but welcome Box Van Percy, and that officially concludes another one of the requests off of the Discord that was made, so that's good. Percy looking good. Let's go do a little showcase on the training center because it doesn't crash and I don't have to set any points, so I don't have to access map if I don't want to. But welcome to the railway, Box Van Percy. I wish We Love Teddy was here to see that Box Van Percy was complete, because the Box Van creation was ones that he wanted to see. One down, 999 to go. Exactly. But we officially have created our Box Van Percy. Next stream, which is probably going to be Sunday, I'll show how progress of that's going. But first, let's do a little small livery showcase. Choose a route to the training center. Never failed us once. We're going to, I guess we're going to Nav. That was actually pretty good. I might actually host another stream of us but this time instead of like playing Train Sim 5, it's nothing but like a livery creation showcase. Also the bear. I don't think did I download that? Yeah, I did. I downloaded bear. Alrighty. The map where it all started. No pressure to showcase my stuff because that might have lower relevance. Oh, I wouldn't. We could showcase some the. We could showcase some of your liveries if you would like. Like, I don't have no problem with. I would love to. Plus, it wouldn't reveal too much of the story to reveal some of the liveries. And then we'll see if Callie is actually up in the mood to drive around to end the stream, because you know she's kind of the one who ends the streams, and it's kind of like the little. I don't mind. Okay, that sounds fantastic. She's kind of the one who ends the streams. Like it's a little special treat for anyone who stays around for long enough or gets to the end of the stream. Just gonna have Callie make an appearance at the end of the stream to send us off on our way before I end the stream. But first, let's get to these liveries that we need to. Where's Rosie? Where is Rosie? We just downloaded her. They're uploaded. They ain't exactly. I'm about to say if they're uploaded, they ain't really a secret. Everyone pretty much knows. But where's Rosie? I'm not seeing Rosie. Where's the liveries that I just downloaded? Okay. What about Bear? Okay. Bear appears. But Rosie doesn't. Oh dear Lord, he has the God eyes. That is a really good bear. Not even gonna lie, it's a really good bear. He has the God ray eyes. Oh, and since we're showing some of the liveries that I was talking about, the Diesel 10 I wanted to show too, that custom Diesel 10. This Diesel 10, I hope this is the right one, but this Diesel 10 just looks fantastic. Like, he did really well, but this bear, that's what I was talking about, the God eyes. Look at him staring into your soul. He sees everything known to man, but look at that Diesel. The face specifically, I love that face design. This livery, whoever made this, did maybe try checking Rosie again. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where is Rosie? We just got her, but that Diesel livery, they did a fantastic job with that, especially the oil trails and stuff. Back to Rosie. Let's get Rosie. She has to be in, because this is where she would appear. But if she doesn't appear in the list, it might be because I have to restart the game and reload it for her to appear. Because I noticed that happens a lot with liveries that I download from the Steam engine site because they're DLC. But if it's an engine that already existed in game or something like that, it for some reason doesn't really like it loads in diesels. But when it comes to Steam engines and downloading them, I literally got to close the game and reload it just for it to like load in and process the fact that I have like newly downloaded creations that somebody has made. Really stupid and really dumb, but that's just how it works. Actually, I'm gonna let you check if my stuff exists. Yours does, because I downloaded your stuff prior to starting the stream, and before I had reloaded the game. That's why your engine right here. Oh no, some of your engines are missing too. I can't find I'm trying to remember the number. I got too many liveries. I got way too many liveries, but I know which one is missing. You might have to reload the game, yes, but when I reload the game, oh yeah, I promised somebody that Cal Thomas will make an appearance. But there we go, but when I reload the game, it's going to reset the stream completely, and it's going to end the stream, so. Well, since we're having a stream tomorrow, and I'm going to close, I'm going to like stream us making more liveries. We'll have a small livery showcase and we're going to showcase everyone's livery that they have made. Because I don't know why this like your bear spawn, but the steam engines have it. Like, where's all the steam engines that I made? And there's Cal Thomas. Finally got a chance to be out on the railway. We don't drive him much, but that's a nice diesel. That's a nice looking bear right there. But what engines do we do have? Glad you liked bear. Very well, good job. Who's next? When you gotta check out active, we have to check out your liveries. Yes. Oh, look, now they just loaded in. They just appeared now after I kept closing and opening the menu. They just loaded in. Oh, so we can check them out. Good to hear. I was actually getting quite bummed out. I really wanted to check out everyone's livery, like, right now. That is a really good Rosie. Whew, I might have a hard time trying to make a version of that, because that one was really good. That's a really good, well done Rosie. And heck, since Rosie's here, let's get out one of her friends. Let's get out Thomas. Let's get Thomas out. Where are you, Thomas? You got like 800 different versions of yourself, so. Oh, that's screenshot worthy right there. Now imagine if they were both their like actual bases. Peak perfection right there. And I'm gonna put bear. Since we got bear, we might as well get another. We get bear and we got bear. Glad you appreciate my Rosie as well. Of course, that is a nice Rosie. But we have both bears out on the rails. Bear and bear. Now mine doesn't have like the God Ray eyes. It will probably like see into your soul one day. Now the next, alright, so all liveries are now loaded in. The game has finally stopped bugging out and has finally decided to load in. Let's see this one. Active, I'm pretty sure this one is yours. Yep, Molly. Really good design, really well. Oh, you went in on the design, Active. Really well. You went in on the design for each of these engines. I know you like it, because I know when it comes to fine detail, you're like me when it comes to fine detail in engine and the window. Yeah, I see what you mean. The come on, you know the name. You said it last stream. Come on, man. Splashers, I want to call them. I think, yeah, the splashers, right? Yeah, well, I'm gonna call you splashers. I didn't even know you could see the detail inside of an engine like that, but anyway, that's a nice livery right there. We got some nice custom liveries. Now, anyone who's probably just now joining or peeping the stream, this one's mine and this one belongs to I Will Eat You, who's currently in the stream. Very good bear they got here, and that would be their Rosie over there. Active, the Molly looks peak, absolute peak perfection we got going on. Let me get out the other engines. We might as well have like a whole livery show gala going on while we're here. And if the stream is going to end, we're about to end the stream, let's just crash the game by spawning in as many liveries as we can. Death by livery overload. And this would be Holy crap, active. I know you were going in on the details with the lines and everything, but you took it to the extreme, didn't you? You took the side of where he had yeah, I see what you're talking about. Getting smart with the details. I see. But yeah, you really, really impressed me with your liveries. Everyone does. I like all. I love these liveries. I love everyone's liveries. Like every livery that I've downloaded a few liveries, but especially like the liveries like I currently have out here now. These two are definitely, because these two are ones that will make an appearance in the series. We're not going to say what their story relations are right now, but they will make an appearance in the series. And some of these liveries I love so much, I really want them to appear in the series in these liveries. Because like this Rosie will fit perfectly. Like I feel like this Rosie is so well, I don't need to make a Rosie. It's kind of like how I felt when I first saw that Ryan. Oh crap! I forgot to do that's why versions exist. Active. That's why versions exist. Yeah, yellow warning pin at the back. Yeah, mine doesn't have that because he doesn't have a face going on. Why did I just delete Thomas? I'm sorry, Thomas. You were supposed to stay on the rails until we were finished going over everything. But if it makes you feel any better, we'll spawn you in your Northwestern Railway livery. If I can find out where I put you again. There you go, Thomas. Looking splendid as always. Wait. Since we're doing a small livery showcase, I can go over each variant of the engines. 1601 V2 will be after the A3 and the other Fowler. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's go over the clones or the copies that I have of each engine, starting with Henry. We'll start with the bare bones, the default Henry that started the little, that's been here the longest. You got your classic TV series Henry. Looking splendid, as always. The next one, and this is what I was talking about, the Crimson thing. If you spawn like a Jubilee and Crimson, they kind of have a shine effect to them. I'm going to move them into the sunlight so it can be seen better. But if you move, if you choose the Jubilee and Crimson, the engines gain, like Jubilees mostly, they gain like a, almost what Gordon has, that shiny effect to them. But if you spawn them in like just a regular standard Jubilee, it's not going to have that same glossy effect that it has. If I can find it again. There we are. And we'll spawn the same Henry to see if we can see the difference. Is that the same Henry or is that a different Henry? No, you can kind of see it. You kind of see how dullish his paint is compared to that Crimson version. Now if it was sunset and we had like a more good lighting with that sunset, like in the, like a perfect sunset, you would see it. But if you look at the buffers of my ones, that's the same method I showed you in Scotsman. Yeah, let me go ahead and spawn in that engine too, because we have a Jubilee of one of your Jubilees. Engines for days. Nope, that's our formations. Henry Cali. We're just gonna skip on past her and pretend like she doesn't exist currently. Alright, let me see what you're talking about. Oh, it does work. You found a way to paint the other side. Yeah, I'm gonna implement that on the new versions. Which extends the livery list. Now we really do have 999 liveries to make. And for the heck of it, since I've never shown this one in video before, nor will it ever appear in video, I'm just going to spawn our boy over here. just for the giggles, just for the bit. So whenever someone looks over there while we're talking about the other liveries, you just, for whatever reason, see Son Goku in the distance. But back to each of the variations of Henry. Henry has the second most variations. Only ever appeared once. It's broken, I think, on my end. It's red. Could be because on mine, like, for example, I see what you mean, like, with the back buffers. Like, I can see that. I can clearly see that, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the version, like my game, that's doing that. But we got Henry, and Henry sees red. And now we got, what was our last version of Henry that we've recently made? Oh no, so Henry has the least amount of variations of himself. But now he has the, I think we created this one last stream too. This was one, where is he? Where is our Henry? Oh yeah, we didn't finish naming him, so he's still currently Gordon. Every version of Henry, old shape Henry, but as a Flying Scotsman. Northwestern Railway Henry, Henry sees red, and a classic TV series Henry. Pure, out of all of them, I would say my favorite is definitely, that I've done, is definitely the Railway series Henry. I just love that shade of green for Henry. It just looks more fitting for him. But now, who's next on the livery display list? Well, we could spawn in some inaccurate Arsdale engines. Let's they're a bit off-brandish, but they get the job done. Starting with everyone's favorite, Bert. Those clearly aren't the Arsdale engines, but if you just pretend, the land of make-believe, it is. Off-brand engines. Very off-brand engines. Alright, who's next out of the... We got Jock. Looking fantastic. We just have, we got the whole narrow gauge. Rex. Flying Jocksman, that was a good one. We can't forget everyone's favorite Mike. I don't think Mike knows there's another Mike on the railway either, so he's going to be in for a surprise. All the Arsdale engines are here. The Flying Mike. Having a full livery showcase today, aren't we? Who can we spawn over here just to complete the curse selection? Another Flying Scotsman? Nah. Who should we spawn in? Flying Rexman. Yep. We got the whole team now. Henry Iron Freya. I think I've showed off half of these liveries. Any diesel specifically that hasn't had a chance to shine? Nope, I think all of you have pretty... No, we still have the cursed man himself. The myth, the true legend, only made an appearance once. Yeah, that is true. Fun things is Mike, Rex, and Bases are related to wrestling. Oh god, we have only made an appearance once, and we're gonna keep it that way. Diesel Percy. Oh, the curseness of this one. Look, if you don't have a Thomas, you got a Percy. Pristine. No, that's definitely cursed. That's definitely a cursed person. Hello, Diesel Percy. We'll get back to you in a minute. Help somebody turn Percy into a class of 8. Don't worry, I'll call the police. The police would love to help us out here. There we go. Officer, arrest this man. That's clearly not Percy. He's clearly impersonating Percy. That is Diesel. That is 100%. Some of these liveries, I wonder, why on earth did I make these? What was the reasoning behind them? And I think, don't we have a Railway Series diesel? The police injured from time. By Paul, yeah. And of course we have the Railway Series diesel, where the only thing I changed was the fact that he has that. Though, I am the law. Diesel is the law, right? The Commander-in-Chief Diesel himself. He's the one who keeps everybody in check. Not gonna lie, I kind of like this version of Diesel. Those red coupling rods do so much to make him look like pure perfect. Absolute happiness. Duck isn't too happy. Duck is never happy, alright? He's not gonna be happy until he has his actual bases back. But he cannot have them back just yet until we figure out what to do with them. Alright, Toby, you can spawn up over here with the rest of us. Join us on the railway. So yeah, that's just 100% accurate diesel right there. That is just 100% diesel accuracy right there. It's Toby. Oh yeah, Toby. Just chilling in the distance. He's having fun. He's happy to be here. And you know what, Toby? Even though you're a diesel, you're the only one who doesn't look that cursed. That cursed. I said that cursed. I didn't say you were not cursed. I said that cursed. I can kind of feel the frames dropping. Yeah, I feel it too. Because the game is starting to not like the fact that I'm loading in so many games, so many engines, but I don't care. My PS4 sounds like it's staying, like taking off. We got our boy Toby, and then we're gonna try to do a full land sweep to see all the engines we have. And how could I forget what is extra engine? Oh no, I know what extra engine is. Extra engine is our War Department engine. This one's based off the Bachmann austerity engine, I think. Is that so many Class 08s? Yeah, a lot of Class 08s. Now this one is just 100% accurate because the Stanier itself is actually just the austerity is actually just a Stanier. But that's part of our War Department right there. We don't use them unless we're going to war. Sodor hasn't been to war in years, though. Alright, who can we spawn next? I think the green... I think you have a green 4F covered in black stuff. A green 4F. Yes, that one. Thank you, Active. And that one's just a North and Western Railway engine. Don't ask questions. Just a very standard engine. That's why it was just an extra engine. I do have a Fowler that's that looks like that, but that one's currently that's saved preserved for story related topics, so I can't reveal that one just yet, or who that is. So we'll keep that one in the vault for now. But James, how would you like to come out? You seem like happy. That's not James. That's Busy Bee James, but it's always good to have James, I suppose. I did Oliver, Isabel, and you can find them tomorrow. I'll definitely, because I can feel like we're about to crash. So we're getting close to our goal, and if we don't crash, I'll drive the fastest train in this game. James routine. There's B. James. Who's next? We got you. The engines just don't stop today now, do they? Oh wait, we completed Ryan. We can finally see him out in the open again. Ryan, it's been ages, my dear friend, but we finally get to see you because we didn't spawn you in last game. And I think your lettering is still wrong, so we need to fix that. But boy, is it good to see you, Ryan. Actually here in our presence. Hello, Ryan. I don't like you, and I think I forgot to add your nameplate too. That's how I know this is an old version, so it still needs to be updated. But Ryan in the flesh, you look good. Just do not look at his lettering. It's definitely wrong. We got Ryan over there. We got Diesel over here. Yeah, they were. That's why I said the lettering was wrong. Because okay, so here's the thing. That model of Ryan wasn't actually going to be Ryan. It was somebody else. It was going to be somebody else, but I'm not going to say who. But it wasn't originally Ryan. I just changed up a lot of the color and made it Ryan in the side tinker design. But yeah, and you kind of can still see it with this right here, that little splasher design. This used to be a different engine. Don't worry about it. It used to be a different engine, but now it's Ryan. It's Ryan now, but before it was somebody else. They are currently no longer with us. Poor GWR engine. I don't know what the engine's name was, but I just called them GWR engine. Thomas. Who the heck is? Oh no, Tim. Tim. I know Tim. We all know Tim. Genty. We don't have. I don't think I do. B2 taking. You can go here. Yeah, you stay there. I think we got too many. Oh, we have so many engines out on the railway right now. Alright, so if we're about to break the game, let's really break the game. Who should we spawn next? Gordon and Spencer's coach. Gordon and the Express NWR editions. Heck yeah. The more engines, the merrier. Oh. Oh yeah, we're about to crash this game. Oh, yep. That was the biggest lag we've had all stream. Pure perfection. Hello, Gordon. Looking fantastic. It must be so random seeing myself in people. Yeah, because a lot of these engines have lore, related stuff around them, which is why when it comes down to why I don't talk much about each engine, is because there's some lore behind them that I can't reveal. It's about to be the end, but for our last little send-off stream, since we have a lot of characters and the game is handling it pretty well, we're gonna spawn in Callie and see if she wants to carry some troublesome trucks this time to end the stream as we say goodbye and stuff like that. So one of you Arsdale engines have to go because I need a clear path to get out of here. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by a toe. If they holler, let me know. I choose all of you. How about that? Alright. So let's go ahead and spawn in Callie. But this time we're gonna spawn there in some gold trucks. Yeah, that's the thing though. Victoria isn't actually a 4F. Remember when I said last stream that a lot of the engines their bases only look like that because I don't have a suitable game that can actually, depict what they actually are. But she's not actually a 4F. It's just that's what she's depicted like, a 4F. Now her shape is similar to a 4F, but it's not a 4F. Alright, and now we have Callie on the rails. She'll be taking some gold dust trucks. I don't know where though. Hopefully she'll want to drive this time, because last time she didn't want to go. Are you in a better mood this time, Callie? Are we sure? Because last time you weren't really in the mood. So let's see. The controller said that you wouldn't be too happy, but oh, she's actually moving this time. Seems like she's in a better mood. And hopefully we're traveling down the right line and we don't get switched off onto the wrong one. Nope, we're definitely on the wrong line. Kylie, go ahead and stop. We're going to have to switch you off onto a different rail. We're on the wrong line. To exit the yard, you need to be on that specific line right there. And somebody's currently on that line, I think. Hold up. Could we be leaving? I don't know. I really want to speed up down the line to see, but we'll just see what's up. Alright, no wheel slip, no wheel slip. Alright, it's not even a slippery day. It's just an average day. Alright. You know what? It's really good to actually see you with some carbon this time. Now, I don't know where we're taking this stuff. The controller always asks me to help at the end of the stream deliver some goods, but I'm never ever sure why, They made it so you could resell stuff you had. I wish you could, but I don't think they'll ever do something like that. But Callie will be taking us on our little journey throughout the day as to end off this stream. How long have we been going for with this stream? We've been streaming for about 3 hours. I was so caught up in the stream that I didn't notice we were streaming for about 3 hours straight. But the chances of them doing something like that are slim to none. They don't seem to, they don't really value this game that much when it comes to making new content for it. But you never know. Sometimes a company can surprise you, and other times they do exactly what you expect them to do, nothing. But Callie, I appreciate you for actually, pulling some some trucks this time. Last time you seemed to be in a bitter mood. A little bit of a bitter mood. But I could see why you are. The controller doesn't really visit the rails much, and he always assigns me and you tasks at the end of every stream. You do mind telling us what's in these trucks behind us? I know they're gold dust trucks, but I don't know what's in them. The controller never tells us. Oh, hello. It's a king, aka ItzAking is one of the CEOs, if you will, of the channel. works alongside me when it comes to creating the stories and stuff. She should meet Big Ounce, the wide controller. I'm not sure if she we'll see. Callie's never one for meeting new engines. Or people, in that matter. But she's friends with Edward. Good friends with Edward. Oh, I think so. She's mentioned Edward a few times. Since I've gotten back to these rails, she's mentioned Edward a few times, but I don't know what the story reference behind that is. Where are we going, by the way? After this delivery, I still gotta go back to the tunnel, because, funny story, Callie, I don't know whether Henry is your twin, to be honest with you, Callie. You know, the controller doesn't say much about your origins, but, Henry's stuck in a tunnel. With Edward this time. Thought we should mention that. No, I was talking to Callie about the fact that Edward and Henry are currently stuck in a tunnel, and we gotta go get them out later. We're going ghost hunting. But I know a best thing to make in the game. I wish you. Yeah, I know, but no, I wasn't joking when it comes to Henry and Edward being stuck in the tunnel. They are stuck. We are going to have to get them out later. 4662. I wonder if that's possible, but I probably would have to attach a train backwards and forwards at the same time. Now, we would put two behemoths together and form a train and see how fast they can get up to, but I don't feel like breaking the game to end the stream, and we're having such a lovely trip around the track with Callie right now, so. In fact, let's get up some speed, Callie. You haven't been to, I know you haven't been up to full speed in a while, so let's get you up to full speed to end off this stream. That was a good stream. We got some stuff done. Percy livery, the box van livery. We're going to get a couple more stuff done when I'm off stream. And we also got to go get Henry, James, and them out of the tunnel. And apparently, well, we have a few engines trapped in the tunnels. We got Bear trapped in the tunnel earlier in the stream. We got Edward and Henry trapped in a tunnel. I think we had someone else, but I don't know who, because I left them there. But yeah, everyone's currently trapped in a tunnel right now, unfortunately, because the game kept lagging and crashing. We don't know what that part was about. This stream should have been much shorter. I wish it was only like an hour-long stream, but I literally don't plan out every stream. I just kind of hop on and hop into it and just start, you know, get right into the stream. But I'll deal with that later. We'll handle that I'll handle that off stream of getting them out of the tunnel. And I'll film a little video to show what I find in the tunnel, because that was the exact same tunnel from our last stream that caused the game to crash when Mike had stopped in front of it during our our little mission. We were carrying some cargo back to the ironworks. Mike had surpassed his last station and was blitzkrieging down the track. Went through a lot of tunnels. We didn't know where we were by the end of the journey, but we made it to this weird, ominous-looking tunnel. Very strange indeed. But that same tunnel is where Henry and them, I think, they're stuck. So we're going back there. Well, I'm going back there alone with nothing but a flashlight and a prayer. If I don't respond back. What was that about? Is the game lagging? What's happening? All right. That's a bit concerning. Do you like my guess for Victoria being a ripoff of the F4? That is a very lucky guess, but I wouldn't say that's the actual theory behind her. Are we gonna crash? We might. If we do, it's because of Callie going max speed. I don't even think you're not even at full power. See you later. If the game does crash, it does crash, but let's get Callie here back to the Magic Railway, and as we end this stream. Bye. See you later, NYC. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Active, of course, for joining. I'll see you in the meeting in a few minutes after I get my classic cup of coffee. Because, boy, I am tired after work today. I'll see you later. I will eat you. Thank you for sharing your liveries with us. Very lovely, Rosie. Same to you too, Active. I really love the liveries that you have released for the series, and I can't wait for us to use them in the series too. And thank you, It's a King, aka another one behind the scenes who's helping me with the series, for joining the stream at the last second. But thank you for the pop-in surprise. Who else is here? We also had. I feel like we had somebody else I forgot to say goodbye to. Freddie Gamer, if you're still here. See you later. All good. Pleasure to help. Pleasure to have everyone here. And thank you all who did stop by for this stream. Might have another one tomorrow. Depends on how work goes. Another 10-hour shift tomorrow. So I could be extremely tired, or I could be energized and ready to go. Kylie, thank you for being here. And I appreciate the controller for allowing you off of the railway to come and help, or for me to be allowed to come and help you work today. And I hope you all have a good night. Good night, and I'll see you all later.